All righty then. All right, what's up, everybody? Thank you for being here. It has been quite an eventful week, and we have quite an eventful stream for you today. Our stream is just absolutely packed with guests, and we're going to rip rare packs tonight. So I'm so psyched for that. It's going to be so much fun. And if you are on YouTube, which you should be, if you're watching this on Twitch or Twitter or one of those things, it's a much better experience on YouTube. And if you're there, there's a poll right now. I see about 13 votes have come through. We're asking people, what player would you most want to see in an upcoming NBA Run It Back pack? And we've got options. We got Shaq, we got Tracy McGrady, we got Dwayne Wade, and we have Allen Iverson. So I see a few of you are still making it in here. So let's just see. Let's say hello to a few people. We got Edwin. Hello, Edwin. We've got El Jukas Pog. Hi, how you doing? We got Dream, our guest, one of our guests of the evening. We got Maverick over here. He's telling us Shaq. And my buddy over here, Sinan. Sinan's the man who started it all on the trade tickets. He's the man who traded in the Tyler Hero MGLE, and we've been close ever since I sent him that DM. And who knows, maybe Stay Mellow never would have sent that hollow moment if it was not for Sinan. So Sinan has a special place in Top Shot lore. Neil over here, he wants Wade County. And Jimbo, he's also going to be on the show later, and he's excited. And I'm excited to have him in the chat. He's a great participant in the chat. All right, so we got a few people in here. Thank you, Dream. Happy birthday. Thank you. I appreciate that. So let's end this poll and take a look. So if you are, you know what, actually, we're not going to end it. We're going to leave it on, and we're going to go into the topics, and we'll leave that poll on there. So for the people who still trail in, you can take a look. So let's open those topics. All right. So tonight, for our 5 topics, let's start it up. First of all, stress test. So this was actually before the rare pack happened, but I still think this is pretty important. Why? Because I really feel that stress tests are like so much fun. They're the essence of what makes Top Shot so much fun. It's the essence of like just trying your best and hoping to everything that you can nail a pack somehow. And I love stress tests, and I think stress tests is one of those things that we should always have. I don't care if they're testing something. I don't care if we're in beta. I want stress tests. That's what's fun. I think it's a really fun experience for anyone who joins the platform. I know some people are sour. Why? Because the stress test was a result of the trade ticket system not working. And so some people are like, oh God, not again. Top Shot releasing something and it's not working. But you know what? We're in beta, right? Okay. Rare packs. The rare packs. I got really lucky this time. I was able to score a rare pack, and we are going to rip it. And you had a 66% chance as a priority queue. And if you look back at what kind of chances you had, and I was actually DMing with Live Token about this and just looking through the old tweets, this was the best chance you had in so long to get a rare pack. The previous rare packs is like 25%, and then there were 4 that was like 12%. So this was kind of a run it back feeling for me. This was like back in February. So when you got a pack and it was like super high EV, and it's super high EV again. So that was kind of amazing. So as you can see, these are some of the highest priced items on the platform. We got Lisa Leslie, and then as a major first place. And then we have Maya Moore, Cheryl Swoops, Diane Taurasi. Those are the top 4 moments. I'm definitely hoping I'm able to rip one of those, as is Pack Drip. Pack Drip is our like resident WNBA stan. So I'm looking forward to having Pack Drip on the show later to rip his pack. Next, the Top Plays Showcase Challenge. I also really love showcase challenges. I think that this is the time for Top Shot to really show off just how amazing their back end is. I mean, it is so easy, and it is so like it looks so nice. The way you choose the moments, it's just super cool. But one thing that I think that Top Shot needs to add, and Top Shot, if you're watching, you need to let beginner collectors know if a moment of a player that they really like is part of a challenge. Because as soon as this challenge ends, of course, that value is going way down, and they have no clue that that's a thing. So anyone new joins and is a huge Miles Bridges fan or something, and that drops half in value, it would be cool if they could know about that. And it was also my birthday the other day, as I said, and it was almost like a gift. The community, I got an Anthony Edwards and a DeAndre Ayton to hold on to for that challenge. Thank you very much to A1 Andy and Mad Max 22. And my cereal eating buddy AG was in there also hooking everybody up. And it just made me think like the community really takes care of each other, something I never could have predicted. And that's also a chance for me to plug this event that I shared on Twitter. At the end of November, we're doing a charity stream that I get to host. And if you think this stream is packed full of people, just wait for that stream. That is going to be out of control. There's going to be so many guests. There are going to be amazing giveaways. It's still in the works, but like it's going to be crazy. So I'm really excited for that. And we're going to do a little good while we're at it. So I just wanted to plug that real quick. All right, let's talk about Dr. Seuss and football. So these are the 2 products now that are out, or not out, but Dr. Seuss is out, and football or soccer is on its way. The Seussibles, for anyone who doesn't know about this, I don't really know what the hell I'm doing. I got access to it, and I don't know what I'm doing. There's like a few different tiers of stickers. I just bought a few, pretending I was Alexo. I'm not. I kind of tapped out after I realized I'd spent like $50 on digital stickers. I don't know what I'm doing, but I trust Dapper, I suppose. I'm just like I don't know, then the other product was this one, La Liga. This one I think has a lot of legs. This is, you can get a Messi, you can get a Ronaldo, you can get amazing clips, and it's coming from Dapper. I think it's solid for that reason alone, honestly. And it just shows me that they are just slowly but surely becoming a huge player in this NFT space. And, you'd be a fool, I think, not to try to get involved in all these. And you still can. You can still sign up. Where's Metz? All right. Ben's on stream. Metz is in the green room, Ben. He's eating all the platter of fruit that I left out for him. Anyway, this is how I feel when every time I open the Dr. Seussibles thing. This is exactly how I feel. And this also happens to be the actor who plays Tandy. That's where my name came from, by the way. It's not my real name, believe it or not. So let's then finish off with a little chat about NFTs. I feel like it's people who come here mostly know about Top Shot, mostly interested in Top Shot, but it's worth it to know at least what's going on in the NFT world. First of all, there's a lot of scams going on in the NFT world. If you have a MetaMask wallet and you're buying NFTs on OpenSea, let's say, you have to understand that you got to treat your seed phrase like, I don't know, something you'd never tell a single soul. I don't know, maybe Metz probably has something funny to think about, something that he would never tell a single soul. That's how you have to treat your seed phrase. You don't put it on a text file. You don't save it on your desktop. You don't do anything stupid like that. If you get DMs, don't open them on Discord. Don't open DMs unless you absolutely know who it's from. And even then, message them on Discord and be like, hey, did you just DM me? Because those people are getting spoofed left and right. And if you get airdrops in your OpenSea account, don't trade them, don't sell them, don't accept bids on them. Treat them like viruses, because in some cases they are Trojans where people somehow write a contract to get access to your hot wallet and can do whatever they want in there. So don't, hopefully listen to these things if you are interested in NFTs right now. The other news, Twitter is going to be verifying profile picture NFTs. The reason why this is important is because this might boost value of NFTs quite a bit when you consider that there may be corporations, let's say, that decide to buy a certain NFT the same way that Visa just did, Arizona Iced Tea just did. And then they get to like now use it and show that they have this actual identity is theirs. This NFT is truly theirs. And there just might be some kind of inherent value added to this. And look, that's why I believe that it's worth it. If you are in Top Shot, if you have a chunk of money in Top Shot, it's not a bad idea to diversify just a little bit, even though I know Jason Metz will disagree. And finally, in the NFT world, Pranksy got rugged. There's another rug pull. This project is called Ethlings, millions taken in. They had a whole big roadmap of what they were going to do. And lo and behold, what happens? Everybody gets crushed. And this is when we, the Top Shot Collective, can huddle in our little soft, warm sleeping bags and realize that we are safe, more or less, from this crap. And that's why, like, when Dapper Labs is creating all this stuff with the Google infrastructure and all that, they are building a monster product that is a lot safer and stronger than these kind of fly-by-night hot wallet mixed with OpenSea stuff. So anyways, we could talk about that for an entire show, and maybe we will do an NFT show one day if you guys really want to. But this is a Top Shot show, and so let's get back to Top Shot. So I'm going to close that out. Anyhow, let's go take a look at that poll, by the way. So I am going to take a look at this poll. We have 17 votes currently. We currently have Shaq and Allen Iverson tied, and Allen Iverson just took the lead. So I'm going to end it there. That's a nice little dramatic ending. Allen Iverson takes the lead. The people want Allen Iverson as their run it back moment. And I don't blame you. I also would love having Allen Iverson as my run it back moment. But as Jason Metz and my next guest will tell you, he doesn't want to see it crossing over Michael Jordan, even though that clip is incredible, by the way. All right. So without further ado, I missed some of these comments while I was doing my segment. We can look at it in a second. But let's introduce Jason Metz. And if you don't know Jason Metz, just go look at a Twitter thread about like almost any topic about Top Shot, and you'll see him. He's in there. So I made a little video for him. So let's introduce Jason Metz. Right.
Well done, Tandy. Well done, Tandy. When was your birthday, Tandy? I didn't know about this.
It was on Thursday, September 23rd.
Mother.
Effort.
We have the same birthday, Tandy.
Do we really?
Go figure, man. I'm not surprised.
Are you serious? Because I thought I remember you saying like weeks ago it was your birthday. Really? Your birthday, September 23rd?
September 23rd. Yeah, brother. Yeah, I got a private DM from none other than Roam himself wishing me a happy birthday.
Oh wow! There's some secret little knowledge there,
right?
That's incredible,
happy birthday!
Man.
Happy birthday to you, man.
Well, thank you. Happy birthday to you. We are technically birthday twins. Anyway, I'm really glad you came on here. Anyone who is familiar, my true Tandy fans, remember Jason from the first stream, and a bunch of these. Actually, almost everyone on the stream today was on that first stream. And that's why it's properly on my Run It Back stream, of course. And our boy Ben is September 19th. Amazing.
It's always got to be about Ben. You just can't let us have a conversation.
And I just want to call out this guy on Twitch, Scully. I really appreciate you that you're on Twitch, but if you want to join the fam, minimize Twitch and come into YouTube. But I appreciate you on Twitch. Leave that stream open, but come to YouTube. That would be great. All right, so
hey, for the record, my take on Iverson, I just think that would be corny. right? Like Allen Iverson had so many incredible highlights. I just feel like it would be placating and kind of kowtowing to an uneducated audience to pick a clip like that's been on highlight reels forever and ever and ever. It's not the core of who he was. So that's why I wouldn't
True.
appreciate that.
I mean, it was a nasty crossover. That
it was a nasty crossover, but he had a million great plays, and if it wasn't Jordan, then nobody would. Anyway, let's go.
Yeah, but I mean, one thing I just came to thought about when you said that is that if PJ Tucker, or I don't know, allegedly could cancel a clip, I think Michael Jordan can probably cancel a clip too.
I don't think we're ever going to see Michael Jordan on the platform personally. I know he's an investor, but he is very, very protective of his likeness.
Hold on, plus, spicy. That is pretty spicy.
I mean, let's face it. If Lisa Leslie is worth 1,500, then Michael Jordan would be what, 15 billion? Is that okay? Might
be like blood of firstborn. Somehow you have to prove that you've done such a thing. Anyway, so Jay, you were recently on Pack-Rip Ewing's podcast, and you chatted all about your huge, monumental trade you made just now.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, and I quite frankly, I don't know how you don't know if you're in a Top Shot stream, but Jay traded for one of the holy grail moments of NBA Top Shot, the Kevin Durant run it back moment. At last check, I think it was like $20,000 or something like that.
More like 30, but sure.
Is it really? Is it 30 now?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, so
tell me, why don't you take me through it? And the reason why I think this is also interesting is because you have been a very vocal critic of the platform in the past.
Yeah.
I know that you also equally support the product as well, but sometimes you're quite vocal about how much you're disappointed in the direction it's going. So why would you then buy a Kevin Durant run it back moment?
Good question. First of all, I think it's important, if you care about something deeply enough, to be as critical and demanding of it as possible. We're hardest on those we love because we want better for them. And I've told this story before, when I first discovered Top Shot back at the end of February, I was never good at timing, obviously. But when I discovered Top Shot, it took me a few weeks to wrap my head around it because I thought it was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard of initially. But once I got it, and I was like, I'm going to be on this thing for the rest of my life. I'm never going to not be on Top Shot. Like this combines so many things that I'm super passionate about. Basketball is my life. It always has been. I love the idea of gambling and investing and trade and everything. It was so cool to me. And then I got invested in it, literally investing in it, but also figuratively, like all of us have, where we all spend a disproportionate amount of time and attention on this thing that we never had in our lives before. And if you can look at something, anything, but especially something new that's literally in beta, that just launched, and think it's perfect, then you got problems, right? You're not being honest with yourself. And I try to be honest with myself, even if it hurts. So yeah, I've been extremely critical when I have thought that criticism was required. And I've been, I think, extremely complimentary when I've been impressed, and everything in between. So fast forward, I'm convinced that this is the gold standard of NFT projects. I'm convinced that this is the gold standard of collecting. It's the NBA. Like there's no sport can come close to the passion that people have for the NBA. And while every sport will, of course, follow and have similar projects, I just believe this is the gold standard. And if you think that that's true, and if you think that this platform will continue to grow and evolve like I do, and as it has, it makes sense to at least take a couple of big bets. And that was the logic. I wanted to take a big bet. I explored a few different big bets. I think because I grew up in Jersey and I'm a lifelong Nets fan, and I'm hoping beyond hope that this is the year for the Brooklyn Nets. I think that's probably what swayed me to going with the Durant moment as opposed to another big bet. But either way, I was going to do a big bet.
And I know I talked to you previously about this. You said that you made like big bets into Top Shot, but you're not a very risky investor. You're not someone who has made big bets like AMC. You read on Reddit, so I'm going to go put 30 grand into AMC.
No.
So to me, that almost speaks to the way that I also dumped a bunch of money in the beginning, which is like, it was such a wow factor that you were almost felt like drunk on the product.
I'm still wowed by it. That's the thing. I don't know if everybody feels this way, but every time I'm on the platform, I feel wowed by it. Every time I see these moments, I'm wowed by it. Every time I try to collect a set, I think it's the coolest thing. I really do. I think it's incredible what they've built. They're obviously continuing to build it out. It's not perfect. There are so many things wrong with it, but overall, yeah, I'm so wowed by it. And I'm a very conservative investor. And I haven't invested a dime in crypto, much to my own chagrin and everybody who knows anything about anything, because obviously that's stupid. But I just can't wrap my head around it. This I can wrap my head around because it dives into my life's passion. So yeah, I don't think there's been anybody who came in late February, early March, and has a collection as big as mine. I think, I'm top 400. I've never scored a rare pack, never scored a legendary pack. Every single moment I've gotten of note, I've purchased or traded for. So yeah, I think although there's this idea of me out there as the FUD guy, I didn't know what FUD was until 100 people accused me of it on Twitter over the course of a few-day period a couple months back. But yeah, I think I might have the biggest post-March account that's all been bought, or at least I'm up there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that should go beyond any particular FUD that people think that you're spreading. You just go look at the account. Go look at what you're actually doing. That should be your answer.
I got receipts.
Exactly. So the other question I wanted to ask you is that I know that you've told me previously that you used to have like a line to Top Shot.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. And I also heard you say the other day, I think in Twitter, you said that you had just spoken. Oh no, maybe that was Pack Rip. You said that you had just spoken to someone at the NBA. So what's going on here? What are these like little private links, private Zoom links that Jay Metz is sending around? What's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm a marketing guy. I've spent the last 20 years of my life, my entire career really in marketing. And a lot of what I do in marketing is business development. I build relationships with companies, and then I lead strategy on their marketing and advertising and media initiatives. And over the course of my career, I've worked with Toyota and McDonald's and IBM and Anheuser-Busch and Coca-Cola and Porsche and Bacardi and lots of big brands. So it's nothing for me to reach out to a chief marketing officer or a CEO or a director of marketing and say, we got to talk. I have something I want to say, and you're going to need to hear it. And, it's hard to break down doors, but I've kind of made a career doing it. So early on when I got into Top Shot, it wasn't anything special for me. I just decided if I'm going to play this game, I want to know the people behind it. And that's honestly before I really knew anything about NFTs. Obviously, I didn't know that, rule one of NFTs is anonymity, right? Like I didn't know that everybody else I would meet in the future in this space, I'd have to look at a frigging cartoon character to know who I was talking to. I thought, people were people. So, I reached out to Rome as soon as I figured out who he was. And that was around the time that they brought Dave on to head up marketing. I reached out to him too. And I just basically said, I've got some ideas and I want to shoot this shit with you guys. Let's talk. And, they took me up on it. And I think the first meeting I had with the two of them was probably 45 minutes. And I think I did 44 minutes of the talking. It was a shit show. I think I just vomited everything out at them. But thankfully, I guess they saw enough in that conversation to want to keep the conversation going. And I think I sent you a copy because I was digging up some old files the other day, and I found the memo that Dave asked me to send to them following that first conversation to kind of summarize some of my thoughts and strategies. And, Dave, much credit to him. After that, we were in touch all the time. We talked every couple of weeks at least. We were always kind of going back and forth on Twitter. Obviously, I've gone back and forth with Rome on Twitter a lot. And I'm not special. It's not about that. It's genuinely, I want to see this platform thrive and succeed. And, early on, my big beef was your community management sucks. Like you're not talking to people. I spend my days and nights advising brands on how to build community and how to harness positivity and more importantly, how to react to negativity and how to listen to people and react. And they weren't doing any of that. So that was a lot of our initial conversations. And then, you know, a lot of the stuff we were talking about was around the pack drop systems, which still to this day, I feel like I'm the biggest victim of it. I qualify for every damn Q, and I don't get any packs for some reason. I actually asked Rome the other day, is it possible that there's a blacklist that maybe you don't know about, but I found myself on. And yeah, I mean, we've chopped it up about everything, and you know, I'm going to take credit for one thing in particular. It was, you know, several months back, I think it was a Saturday or Sunday morning, and I was tweeting back and forth, DMing with Rome, and I was like, because he was doing like a lot of stuff on Twitter where he was sharing stuff that was not Top Shot related, and I was like, bro, the one thing that you can do right here and right now to kind of change this, because I was like, when everybody was super negative and people were dumping and Top Shot was the worst thing in the world, I'm like, you got to start asking questions. Like, use Twitter as an opportunity to learn from your audience instead of just pushing out the information that you want to share with them. And that morning he put out like his first set of several you know, questionnaires, and he kind of went from there. So yeah, I don't know if I have like a line of communication. I reach out to people like I would with any other brand that I'm invested in or I'm passionate about, and if they're smart enough, they're going to pick up the phone because I know what the F I'm talking about, and I want to help.
Sure. Yeah, man. I mean, I think that's great. And it's funny though, because sometimes when you talk about that, I want to show this video.
I'm very important. I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
That's awesome. Couldn't help myself.
Yeah, I like, listen, if that's how people take it, that's even better, because I love messing with sensitive people. I love hurting people's feelings who want their feelings to be hurt. I think this space is just rampant with just super sensitive people, and yeah, if people get rubbed the wrong way, then that's even better.
All right, fair enough. Yeah. Well, I think it's good. You know, we have the super sensitive, and then we have the opposite, so that's okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I now have a little segment I like to call the Genie's Wish, and after that, we will bring on Dream Shaker. So, Genie's Wish, by the way, is brought to you by Topps Wooden Coins. All right, Topps Wooden Coins, splinter free since 2021. Jay, here is your Genie's Wish. Okay. So that little Diet Coke bottle, you put it down, and all of a sudden there's a big puff of smoke, and a big blue Will Smith comes out of there, and he's like, "Jay, I have an offer for you."
Okay.
Like, okay, Will Smith, what is it? Yeah. And you say, "All right, Jay, you get immediate access to every Dapper employee currently," because I know that like lately they don't take the Zoom calls as much, but you get their every call you want, day in, day out. You can talk to them all day. You can talk to them while you're taking a bath, while you're in your car, while you're watching your favorite soaps, your Real Housewives. You can press pause and connect to them.
Okay. Or Tandy on YouTube.
But in return, you actually get put on a blacklist.
Yeah.
And you never get a pack for the rest of your life. Guaranteed. You never ever. And I'm talking every single pack. You don't even rip a stress pack. So are you getting on that blacklist so that you can talk to them all day, or are you hoping that something changes in your luck and you get a pack one of these days?
And I'm assuming with this logic that if I choose the latter, that means I don't have access to any of them anymore. We can't chat. We can't
Correct.
talk.
No more chatting. I mean, you can like throw out your Twitter replies, and maybe Rohan will throw you a bone, but you don't get your Zoom chat.
He's good at those bones. No, bro, I think the pack we all know this, right? The pack opening piece is the most magical part of the platform. When I collected cards as a kid, I almost didn't even care about the cards themselves. It was the experience of opening the pack. And obviously that's what I first fell in love with when I found the platform. And I think that's what everybody falls in love with, which is why, and I've met so many other people who've been in this platform just as long as I have, since back in February, March, who've never had the opportunity to open one of these good packs, right? And I think that's a fatal flaw of the platform. I don't think it could all be predicated on luck. It can't just be one big lottery. So yeah, I don't need calls anymore. Like, stop taking my calls. We don't need to Zoom. You don't need to pick my brain anymore. I want to open packs. I want that sense of wonderment. I want that opportunity to find something amazing in there, because I'm so goddamn jealous of everybody who does, especially iRacer. Shout out to Andrew. He always gets lucky. I don't know. He's just a lucky dude.
Yeah, I mean, some people are just luckier than others. All right, man. Well, we're gonna bring on Dream, but I will first let you plug something. Do you want to plug anything?
Don't want to plug anything.
No.
I want to plug the Nine Lives Lounge Discord.
Okay.
It's an incredible place. Lots of great conversation happens there, and it's just, I love it.
All right. Well, that's great. Okay. Shout out to the Nine Lives Discord, Nine Lives Lounge Discord. All right, man. So let's bring on Dream. This is a special segment. It's a little throwback segment. And we actually have your original adversary, Rockdawggy, but he's coming on later. And we are, yeah, Rockdawggy is great. So we are going to bring on Dream. And before we do, of course, I made a little video. All right. Up in the middle. There we go. All right. So what's going on, Dream? Nice. Thank you for making the time to be here. And, you know, Jay said he likes the Nine Lives Lounge, and there you are in your Nine Lives Lounge jersey. It's almost like you knew that was going to happen.
Exactly. I mean, he called and then we responded. That's why he has such high regards for the Nine Lives Lounge and the sophisticated conversations we have within it. So here I am.
Okay. Well, that's actually a good starting question then. I mean, Jay kind of just pump faked us all, because the starting question is about the Nine Lives Lounge. And Jay told me before the show that he thought it maybe is just a little bit overrated. And so I want to just quickly recap some of the things that the Nine Lives Lounge include, and you guys can add more. But, you know, everyone in the Nine Lives Lounge got an infinite objects display if you're into that, if you're into watching LeBron James loop in your living room 1,000 times a day. Everyone had a chance at a signed NBA jersey, I think, since the beginning of September. So if that's correct, then I guess you guys have had about 13 chances at jerseys, more or less. You guys are chatting with Dapper staff, which Jay loves to do. And you're supposed to get early access to Dapper product. So when I heard that, I was mostly thinking about UFC. I'm really excited for that product, but we know that Susables just came out. So having heard all of that, Jay, why don't you start us off and tell us why that list doesn't necessarily impress you currently?
It does. So the list does impress me. The last piece specifically, I think for those of us who got into the Top Shot platform late, right, like late-ish, you know, we saw those whales, like, you know, they've done pretty damn well for themselves, and you know, a lot of them are awesome people, and you know, they've been great to help the newer ones of us kind of on board and so on and so forth. But like, you know, let's face it, a lot of this comes down to money. And we see the money that those dudes made because they got early on something. So, you know, when they were teasing the perks of Nine Lives Lounge, when it was first finally announced that it was happening, you know, one of the big items on that list was, and you'll have an opportunity to get early access to Dapper projects. And I thought that sounded amazing. I don't think there's going to be another Top Shot, but, you know, other projects that come down the pike, if we genuinely get early access, that's awesome. Fast forward to now, we've had the first opportunity to get early access. And, you know, from my perspective, here's what early access actually looks like. First of all, people not in the Nine Lives Lounge got in before anybody in the Nine Lives Lounge even found out there was an opportunity to get early. Well, that's fine. Then they decided that they were supposedly going to roll out access to different portions of the Nine Lives Lounge. And there was kind of no rhyme or reason to how they were doing it, supposedly. They haven't really been vocal about who has gotten access, how many people have gotten access, what the roadmap looks like to get everybody else access. And every single day in the Discord, and I don't hang out in there that much, but I check in like a couple times a day, the most asked question in the Nine Lives Lounge Discord is, when am I going to get access to this thing that I'm being told that I'm super special and I'm going to get access to? And there's no answer, right? And like, I think we've all kind of come to expect from Top Shot that a lot of times when we ask questions, They acknowledge the questions, but there is no actual response because they don't necessarily know themselves. So, I take them at their word, and I think ultimately we all will get access, but it ain't early access anymore because I'm watching people get access and rip packs and get stuff and create their collection. Personally, I don't even know if I would take advantage of it if I was given access to, because I'm not that interested in the product, to be honest with you. But at least I'd love the opportunity to actually take advantage of the thing that I supposedly was earning as a byproduct of being in this exclusive club. The other stuff is cute. Like they do these jersey giveaways every weekday, and like one guy wins a jersey or three guys win a jersey, and like whatever, that's fine. Yes, they said that they're sending out this video player to all members. Again, some people have received them. Other people like me, who may or may not be on a blacklist, have not received them. Don't know when I might receive it, because every time I ask a question, I get a super sensitive response of like, I don't know, maybe one day, we can't tell you. So I think, it goes back to kind of lack of communication, lack of clarity, lack of roadmap, lack of understanding of what the expectation is. And to be honest with you, the one thing I don't like about the community, it's the only thing I don't like about it. It feels to me, and Dream, I'd love your perspective on this. It feels to me that Top Shot folks, community managers, take this opinion that we should feel fortunate to be there. But it's not we're there because we invested in it, and that's what it is. So, that's kind of how I see it.
All right, fair enough. So, Dream, I'm going to let you counter that in 1 second. But before we do, let's just take an updated look inside the Nine Lives Lounge. I know you just came from there. So we actually have like a different camera angle this time. And I believe that the main character in this video at this particular time is actually Dream. So we'll see what he's going to tell us if this is true or not.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that seems like a pretty live depiction of what happens in the Nine Lives Lounge. So I guess like piggybacking on that last point, so a lot of what you're saying, I agree with, right? And so we need to be like circumspect into our perception, which for me would be very much in the short term. I think that what you're saying has a lot of validity, and for the long-term aspects of it, I think that's kind of like where my brain mostly goes with the perks. But yes, in the short term, there are some certain struggles being in the NLL. People might not be privy to, such as some of the things that you're mentioning. As far as the community managers and us being thankful that we're there or not, I think that's more of a community culture than something that they push onto us. I think people are very happy that they've invested some money into this aspect of the platform. And so they feel like when they get a W, when something good happens for the community, they want to go out there and really show it. And so I think in a lot of ways, community managers are kind of like the symbol like behind that, right? And so that would be like, for me, one of the big benefits of the actual NLL itself is that if we aren't people like you who can hustle their way into Roham's DMs or some other aspect into the Top Shot world, like, you have a community manager, you have a team to really help you kind of build out that roadmap. And so in a lot of the ways that I've seen other successful NFTs take on a more community approach. So like one might expect, Top Shot, like give me what I need to know about this whole, like the next 10 years, the next 5 years, whatever the case is. I kind of like the aspect that it's not really all there already from the beginning, and that we can kind of have a say in that. And so I think that things like the Dr. Seuss, and whether we're pro their approach in that or not, I think that as long as they can take that criticism and actually do something with it, I'm cool with us kind of building it out together rather than it being kind of like an already like laid out thing for us. And, we're so early, we're still in beta, right? Like the whole meme out there. And so I think in terms of that whole argument, I think that you definitely have a legitimate approach there, but I think that it's still early to say that.
Is that happening though? I mean, you're obviously in it more than I am, Dream. But is that happening? Like, do you feel like there is co-creation happening where there are people within the community who are sharing ideas and recommendations and suggestions, and they're kind of building and heeding that advice? I know I saw actually something with the charity piece, which I thought was pretty cool. I don't know if that was a community member's idea or if that was Luke's idea. I think that's dope. But I'm curious from your point of view, do you see collaboration where the community lead from Dapper and the community themselves are co-creating?
Yeah, so I think it's still very early in that respect. And so the charity thing is certainly one aspect that you can look at it and say, hey, we actually have like a tangible thing that's being built out right here. There's a few other collaborations too. For instance, somebody the other day wrote a blog piece on Pack Rip Media and they shared it in the NLL community. So that was a good way to get some kind of perspective. And I'm sure you can dive into that if you want to in terms of the substance there in that article. But it was shared among the community. Some words that somebody penned and that they shared in front of thousands of people that has worth, that has value. And that was built by somebody in the community. There was also a person too that went and created, I guess, a certain art piece of the NLL and had attachments of your serial number. And if you submitted like what serial number you were, he would make one for you. And so he made it for the entire NLL. Like that was there. Like we're still so early in this that I think, again, it's kind of early to say whether like it is today the way it's going to be tomorrow. But at least like the channels are open. So maybe it's not in the degree in which you might appreciate it, but there are things that you can say, hey, they've done this and they've done that. And I feel like they have delivered in that respect in certain ways.
Yeah.
And I think Andrew also made a good point here is that like it is the off season and there may be many more opportunities for engagement once we actually start seeing basketball games.
Yeah.
And Brian also says here, Dumbo stated that the Seuss early access would roll out to the Nine Lives Lounge in small batches. And something as that I think I actually got access, like I said, something that I believe is that it makes sense. I almost think to treat it almost like pack drops, where like Nine Lives Lounge have a much higher chance of like getting it, but all of us plebs also have a chance. Because if it was just Nine Lives Lounge, then I feel like that doesn't quite feel right. Yeah,
I mean, that's how they teased it, though. They said it was the Soho Lounge. Like that's what the tease was. To be honest with you, you talk about the Durant thing. My first big purchase was Cool Cats. I was still very early on in my Top Shot journey, and I still didn't know what the hell I was doing. And I wasn't involved when the Cool Cats packs were dropping. But I heard Roham on, I guess, an office hours say that people who hold the entire Cool Cats set will get priority queue access for all season 2 rare and legendary packs. And I think by that point, I had obviously missed out on every rare and legendary pack so far. And I was like, I'm going to get these packs one way or another. And I'm just going to buy this whole set. I didn't know what the hell. I didn't know the backstory of Cool Cats. I found out later that there was a whole controversy and people were pissed off that they spent a ton of money. So I missed all that. But I bought the entire Cool Cat set over the course of one afternoon for the sole reason of possible monetary gain. That's why I'm in, right? Like, and I've been honest about that. This is an investment to me. People who say this is not an investment, I can't wrap my head around that. This is an investment. We're investing in assets. And I thought wrongly, because obviously I didn't understand the platform enough, but I thought access to priority queue meant that I was going to get some of these packs. And I didn't. And that's why I got into the Nine Lives Lounge. So my read on being a part of this community now is I want the financial incentive. I want to know how being part of this community, how holding these moments is going to benefit me financially. Like, that's what I want to know. And that's what I'm still kind of waiting to find out.
So I definitely, I hear you there. But one thing that NBA Top Shot by no way in shape or form, like, was absolutely like not explicit about, like they were 100%. The perks that you were going to get are non-monetary. Like they said it in the email. Like that was like, I know that they have to say it. And like, you're smart enough to know like what they have to say versus what they might actually want to do. Right. So I think in that respect, expecting that expectation of them laying out a roadmap in which how we can get rich in the NLL is, maybe not going to be the way to go. But in terms of communicating exactly, okay, what do these perks exactly mean? Because when they say unique, what I mean is what I think in terms of that means that it's just going to be for us and it's going to be for all of us in the community, right? Like we're going to get it before other people. And if it were the case that, okay, only like 40 or 30% of us in the NLL are going to get this Seuss benefit. Okay, well, guess what? If they would have communicated that early on, like I wouldn't have gotten like blocked by people for getting this perceived NLL benefit, right? Like I wouldn't have had that fights with people in the general, like, you know, Top Shot community thinking that we're going to get in early on a supply that's not finite, right? Like you can purchase as many packs as you want. So this is still not like a crazy financial benefit. Everybody who comes onto the platform early access is going to be able to get just as many cards and moments as anyone else. So that already was eliminated in the fine print. But the whole dialogue that was carried on in the community and became very divisive between people who were in the NLL and got a perceived benefit that was not actually real, versus people outside of the NLL who thought they were being gypped in the end, and it ended up being like a pretty good thing for everybody in the community. And so if you don't communicate that effectively, then you're actually kind of screwing us up that are in the club, because yeah, I don't think we have to I sat there like having to argue with people like, hey, they said unique and that we can share perks and that it may happen for you at some point or another. I didn't think it was going to happen within like 1 week of us getting access, right? Like that's what happened.
But even the unique thing turned out to not exactly be true, right? Because based on that, and I don't know if this was their plan, but as we know, Top Shot Dapper, they're very reactive when certain members of the community complain long enough and loud enough. They'll pivot, you know, and they'll change their plans. You know, when they first announced Nine Lives Lounge, I think we all kind of thought that being part of that Discord wouldn't just be a smaller version of the Top Shot Discord, that it would be a little bit different, and that maybe we get some access to information, right? And when I say financial benefit, I don't necessarily mean that they're going to send us money in the mail. Like that was never the intention, but a competitive advantage somehow, some way, knowledge, insight. I thought, because again, you know, I'm from New Jersey. I worked in New York for 15 years. I know the Soho House. Like I you know, certain things happen at the Soho House. So if you're going to use that terminology, to me, reading between the lines, I thought that there was an expectation that we get access. And then I think based on some of that complaining that you probably had to deal with, and I guess you got blocked from having to stand up for certain things, as you're saying, they then came out and said, by the way, we will never say anything in the Nine Lives Lounge that we're not also saying to the general public. And, you know, I'm not trying to be selfish, but the whole point of belonging to an exclusive club is there's supposed to be something kind of exclusive about it. So again, it's more of a communication thing than anything. I think it's more of an expectation setting thing than anything. What I've always asked them, and what I'll always ask them in the future, is clarity, coherent communication. Help me understand what this is so that I can make a smart decision about whether or not to invest. Sure. That's just the way it is.
Danny, can I just say one thing just to like kind of tie this off? It'll take like 2 seconds. But I think that what you're saying is 100% true. And so like in that respect, like in terms of like communicating like an actual perceived benefit, I think that the time period in which NLL members are allowed to enjoy a unique perk needs to be communicated early on enough. So like if Dr. Seuss was only going to be like a week and a half of a certain amount of NLL access, okay, cool. Tell me that ahead of time, that I'm in a drawing. Otherwise, what I'm viewing inside the group is that all the NLL is covered first and then everybody else after. And guess what? Outside the community, that's also what they're expecting as well. Like that's why like people outside of the NLL were fighting with us in the first place. You save a lot of fighting within the community, which you should be doing as community managers and people that are operating between exclusivity and non-exclusives. Like that needs to be communicated. The time frame, right? How long are these unique perks going to last if it's not going to be forever or within like a certain like perk access level? That's the first thing. The second thing that you said about the perceived benefit of like getting exclusive like info, I would say that to counter that, at the very least, the exchanges that I've had with Roham and with other Dapper Labs like employees, like, okay, maybe they're not going to give me like the holy grail stuff that Tandy, I'm sure, looks for in a lot of these interviews, right? Like the special access, like, oh yeah, we're going to know about the roadmap on this day and that, and that, like, we may not get that, but if we have like a legitimate question, I've had like multiple like times having Roham answer them. And so again, for those of us who are not hustlers like you getting into his DMs, like it presents a unique opportunity to go and do that, to get something legitimately answered that you want to get answered. So I do see people getting that benefit, even though it may not financially benefit you. It makes you feel better as somebody who puts money into the platform to get something answered from the CEO of a company, which is a very unique thing to have in any kind of like business, right? Like
Rome's the GOAT, man. Let's be honest. Like, no, there's very few CEOs out there that engage the community as deeply as this dude does. So, you know, I've got all the love, all the respect in the world for that dude.
Yeah.
It's
So
unique.
real quick,
unique.
so we can get to the next question. First of all, I would just throw in my opinion there real quick, which is, we just all want clear communication, and there might be some limitations for them to be able to say that this group of our user base is going to get complete access and that other group isn't. There might be something we're not even considering. So the final question I want to ask you both is about Series 3. So we were told when we looked at that trade tickets blog and when we had that live chat with Alan that don't necessarily trade in a bunch of Series 2 moments, because Series 3 is going to be, they're going to drive those prices down. And honestly, I actually kind of want to get your guys' take on this, which is that some people are speculating that Series 3 might even work similarly to how Seussibles is working. And I know you may not both have access to it, but Seussibles, people are buying tons of packs. They drop it at a certain time, and then people can go buy tons of packs at once. And then they basically have a bunch of these stickers, and you don't really know what they're worth, or you just kind of assume they're not worth a whole lot. And people are just trading back and forth. And there's almost a part of me that wonders if that's what Series 3 might eventually be like, where there's just a ton of moments that you can just trade back and forth. And the question is that necessarily a good thing? Is that a bad thing? What are you guys thinking about Series 3?
Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, sure. I can go ahead first on this. So my lens of this product is first and foremost always going to be a basketball product, right? I've watched basketball my entire life. I am if anybody knows, a pretty big fan. So on a given Tuesday, Wednesday night, Thursday night of an NBA season, I'm watching. On a Wednesday night, they typically have League Pass, and they have, let's say, about 8 games on. In any one of those 8 games, you could have multiple top shot momentable plays in one game, right? The freaking dunk over somebody on their head, the insane pass, the buzzer beater. You'd be so surprised about all the amount of moments that you can get in one regular season game. So I do feel at some point down the road, there is going to have to be a way to be able to on-ramp new people with really cool plays that one might think should be worth a lot more than they actually are. And so it's a kind of a shame that the product wasn't really built with some other things that I think are more relative to are important for people that are basketball fans, such as the statistical importance. If there's a moment that has a statistical importance in a very popular NBA player, I feel there should be a badge. Endless Dwayne, one of the followers of my Twitch stream, actually made a really nice graphic of it. And I think that if you're a basketball platform, it shouldn't be up to us to have to go into a caption and dig that up itself. So I think things like that should be legendaries. Things that are basketball, actual, relative, so if I'm releasing MJ's dunk from the free throw line, right? That needs to be a legendary moment. When it happens, that it has to be something that only a finite amount of people can do. So one thing we have to remember in terms of the basketball product itself is that up until now, it's been working from the past to the future. And the way that they're going to on-ramp this now is that when you watch games on a Tuesday night, maybe on a Thursday, there's a pack drop with those Tuesday moments. And so it has to in some way be very common for you to be able to get cool plays. And so I think that being able to bank on a mainstream audience then becoming more educated with basketball itself, I think is a great bet to have because it's such a fun sport. And that's why I believed in the sport before I came to the product. And so if you're somebody who's coming into the product and expecting that supply and demand and those metrics and, oh, it's an MGLE and Top Shot debut and all that stuff, I'm sorry. It's going to be the basketball fans that are actually care about a moment in time that's going to go and drive the quality of the product. It's only a matter of time before those metrics are going to be just washed. And so a lot of the things that the hardcore NBA Top Shot community is for more basketball fans, well, I think that that's actually what NBA Top Shot wants to do. And so in terms of supply, it has to get into every single, if I'm watching a game on a Wednesday, I can have that moment in my hands by Friday. And that's how you kind of promulgate all these more important plays. And then that raises the value of the NBA itself and why they would even give the license to Dapper. So it all has to fit into that confines. And I know it's hard for us as early adopters to understand, but out of beta means out of beta.
So real quick, Dream, though, are you saying, if I'm understanding correctly, you're basically saying like special plays are inherently going to be special and more valuable? Is that what, can I just confirm that's what you're saying?
It has to be. The team that's choosing these moments there has to be analytics, Jason, like you're somebody who knows this, like in marketing, right? Like you have to have like a full-on team. Like when NBA Top Shot the algorithm pops up, it has to be like, not just the most amount of retweets, but the most engagement. Like it has to be like the team that's choosing a moment has to know, because you're given basically like when you say this is a rare moment, this is a legendary moment, it really has to mean something in the basketball world. And up until now, when we're watching MGLEs that are layups, or we're watching like Diana Taurasi with like, what did she have, like a random like pass, or like I don't know, like there's moments sometimes that I think to myself, why would I make this the first moment for that player on this platform?
Okay, so you're talking like rare and legendary. I guess my interpretation.
Everything else is going like to the mainstream. It's going to be cheap.
I think the big challenge that Top Shot, Dapper
except for the challenges.
I think that the challenge that they've had, no pun intended, is this kind of juxtaposition between accessibility and scarcity. The reality is most of us who were not, true early adopters and came in after that big PR burst they did in February, we didn't come in because we wanted to play games with trading cards, right? Like that's not why people came in. People came in because Top Shot, Dapper, they were flaunting the financial gains that people were achieving by selling these moments. That it was the money piece. That's what brought us in. And inherent in the financial piece of Top Shot is scarcity. On the flip side, the reason that the NBA got involved with Dapper and Top Shot in the first place is accessibility. They want to be able to engage the digital fan, and the fan base, as people in general are going increasingly digital. And I think that's the bridge that they're going to have to continue to figure out how to figure out. A lot of us are looking for scarcity. We're treating this as an investment platform. We're buying and selling and ultimately trading based on potential financial gain and the perks that hopefully will come along with it in the future. But there's a whole bunch of people out there who love basketball who aren't necessarily going to be interested in getting involved in this thing from an investment perspective. And that's where the accessibility piece comes in. So I think it's fine. Long story short, I think it's fine that they make part of the product super accessible and part of the product more predicated on scarcity to influence marketplace dynamics. What I thought was weird, that said, about how they introduced season 3 in conjunction with the trade tickets announcement was that for the first time, I feel like they gave too much information and they dictated to us as participants and investors to look at this upcoming series and think it's worthless before it even comes out. For a platform that has under-informed and under-communicated for so long, they telegraphed Series 3 and told us this isn't going to be worth much. Actually plan to buy it specifically so that you could give it right back to us for something better. And I thought that was super weird because, for the most part, people like me who came in February, March, April, like we've had to figure it out ourselves, figure out what we should invest in, how much we should spend on things. And they literally telegraphed and said, don't trade in any of the stuff you currently have. The stuff that we're going to come out with later is not going to be worth anything or not going to be worth much. So play this game with us. Wait for us to flood the marketplace with it. Take it. Get rid of it as quickly as you can. And that's when you can get the better stuff that we've released previously. So I thought that whole thing was super weird. If ever, it wasn't a good time to give too much information, to literally forecast that your own future product is not going to be worth anything. I thought that was super strange.
Dream, do you have an answer to that?
Yeah, I do actually. So I think it's really interesting the way that you interpreted that, and I don't disagree with the interpretation of it. And I think that in general, that goes into the communication that NBA Top Shot doesn't do a well enough job of. And this would be one way to really threaten market participants, is to tell them that, hey, guess what? S2 is going to count more towards the collector score. When they say things like that, they need to add an asterisk, which is the unsaid thing, which is what is making us all kind of not make the connection, but it's that what drives up supply and demand during the in-season of your moments, of your base moments, right? So if it's S3, what's going to drive up the moments of S3 as opposed to S2 and S1, which were seasons before? It's going to be the challenges, right? The challenges say you need to have this card, or you need to have this moment, you need to have X moment, Y moment, Z moment, right? And then that creates people to have to go into the market. And I know you have your like philosophies on that, on that like whole scheme, but that's how you keep S3 moments relevant. So just because it's not going to help out your collector score as much as S2, that's the S2 and the S1 utility for collector score is actually collecting those moments and keeping it stored away. S3 is more about activating certain moments for certain other perceived, value, like a challenge reward, the serial, number lottery. So I'm really interested, to see what NBA Top Shot changes with challenges, because thus far it's very bad for new users to go hop into to buy things that are worth $80 and then plummet down to 10.
But actually,
take the entire playoff set.
Ugh, don't talk about the playoff set. But to your point, I think that's where they over communicated. Like they tried to do the thinking for the customer base as opposed to launching it out there and allowing the customer to decide what they wanted or what they didn't want. I for a company that under communicates so often, I just thought it was super strange, on the heels of, perhaps coming out of beta and launching to the masses to telegraph to us, don't think too highly of this upcoming series, or if you go by that logic, future series, because if everything's about collector score, they're basically telling us collector score for all future stuff, aside from like the rare and legendary stuff, but the base stuff is borderline worthless. So I just thought it was just a weird move for them to do, and
they're actually communicating. They're trying to guide the community to collect in a certain way.
But they say collect what you love. They say you decide what kind of collector you want to be. So they can't dictate how people should want to collect.
That's a fair proposition to have, to say you can say collect what you love, and then also to kind of leave out these rules here that suggest that a collector should guide in a certain way. So I definitely agree with that miscommunication. But certainly, you can't be somebody who's upset that NBA Top Shot hasn't communicated in a certain way to you, but then say, oh, they also over communicated to me how I should collect. So that becomes almost like a way to,
but it's overcorrection. Overcorrection is never the solution to anything. I mean, look at what's happening in our culture. I mean, I think there's so many examples of overcorrection that create more problems than the initial problem. It is what it is.
Yeah, I agree with you there. As far as team sets and all that kind of stuff, and I know, Tandy, you're going to probably cut us off over here, but I think that would be the biggest.
Why would you cut us off?
Well, I know we have to get to a segment in a bit, but in terms of the actual UI on the website itself, it is communicating to you in a very graphically appeasing way that grabs into all the pheromones in your mind to feel good when you complete a set, because it pops out in green, right? And they've communicated it so many times. They've said it, we are not going to protect bottleneck moments. Wait for them to go and do it. It's gonna, team sets, I don't know what they're going to change with it, but they're going to do something that's going to make a lot of people angry. And so they're saying one thing, but the UI, and if you're not paying attention to that stuff, is telling you something completely different, right?
Yeah, right.
So that stuff needs to be fixed.
That's why people need to tune into shows like this, tune into a dream show, because you need to get informed, and that's definitely part of Top Shot. It's not as the platform is so user friendly to just go and jump in, but as far as actually using it to the best possible way, is not incredibly user friendly. And I do think that they are improving on that, but it's a work in progress. And just because I want to use this wrap it up clip, this is what I would use if I was cutting you off.
It says wrap it up.
All right. All right. Well, I think that's good. I think that was great. We got some good opinions there from both sides.
We didn't fight about anything. I thought we were supposed to be disagreeing about stuff.
Next time we'll fight.
You got to ask harder questions.
All right. Next time I'll try to
You can talk about rib.
Oh yeah. Okay. So how about let's do a little talk about Run It Back. The question is going to be this. So anyways, Jason, you miss every single rare and legendary pack because you're on a blacklist. We know that.
Yeah.
100%. The question though is, do you think this upcoming Run It Back pack, I think, who was it that was talking about? Steve was talking about this. Is it going to be just a rare set, or are we going to have historical common moments as well? What do you want to see from the upcoming Run It Back set?
I love the Run It Back concept. I'm huge into nostalgia. As a basketball fan, any of us who've loved the game for decades, we remember, where we were, what we were doing when certain events happened. So I love, the concept of run it back. I think I agree with what I've heard from the community for the most part, which is there should be a level of scarcity to it. It shouldn't be accessible. These are our memories. These are, our favorite moments in our lives in a lot of cases. So it feels like you're kind of doing it dirty a little bit if you commoditize it. I don't want run it back as a promise to be commoditized. I want it to feel scarce and hard to attain. So yeah, I mean that Jacob was pretty clear when he first came out and talked about what to expect. So to Dream's point, I think that's one area that they have been pretty decent at communicating. We know that we're going to expect some rare stuff and we're going to expect some not rare stuff, and I think that sucks overall. I think this part of the platform should be held in higher regard. And they've done 180s on a lot of things before, and if the right people in the community whine hard enough, it's very possible that they'll do a 180 on this and they'll realize the folly of their ways, and they'll say, you know what, we screwed this one up. Run it back is always going to be this kind of super scarce thing, and that's what I'm hoping they do, but probably not.
Yeah. All right, so now Dream, you're going to give the super pro take on why we need common.
Dream's going to agree
moments.
with me.
Oh, why we need pro common moments? No, this one I actually do completely agree with. I think that it sucks. I'm sorry. I know that you just and this is what I've been trying to tell people that have been investing in RIP. I don't know what's going to happen with the collection, because on the one hand, I'm going to compare two different moments, right? So you have the KD moment, Top Shot debut. It's a fantastic moment. It's the holy grail of Top Shot. Roham has tweeted about it and basically has reinvigorated that this will be basically one of the only Top Shot debut run it back moments, right? That's probably only going to happen with that. They were very careful in the WNBA run it back set to not do the same. So this could be something very unique for that particular moment. Now, what I'm kind of questioning is the rest of the run it back moments, because the ones that are not Top Shot debuts. So for instance, I don't know, any of the Miami Heat moments, right? We've been in several finals. What if you bring back more run it back moments to go and flood and saturate that market, right? Why would I want a Udonis Haslem from this year when I can get it from the Dirk years in 2006 when they run it back that way? So that's on the one hand. But then also, too, one thing that could knock down the Top Shot debut is kind of what they've already kind of screwed up, which is the Steve Nash Top Shot debut, and several of the other ones the Kelly Olynyk's, those drag down Top Shot debuts, right? So if they bring out another Steve Nash Phoenix Suns run it back moment, that could actually end up being it depends on what the supply count is, right? So I think that's why they're going to start to pull certain levers with different players that they might have to correct themselves, which I know you're really against, Jay, you're against them kind of messing with the supply to recalibrate players on the platform, but that's essentially what they're going to have to do with the common sets. Is and it's going to saturate some of them too. Dirk, for instance, Jacob eloquently said in one office hours, he's we are going to have more Dirk moments.
Yeah.
What is that moment, right? Yeah. And so the Top Shot debut is going to be very tested in the run it back area, not just the run it back moments that could get saturated at some point down the road. It's not going to happen now, but it's just something that a lot of people want to keep in mind. But I think
what's funny about that though? The funny thing about that is, and I hope this is how they're treating it, probably the most pressing topic that they need to wrap their heads around in making decisions is financial, right? Because if there wasn't a financial issue on the line here, then these would be easy decisions, right? And that's where they get me by kind of going back and forth on, let's talk about the highest price moments that are sold, so we can appeal to people who want to look at this as a financial product, as an investment product, and then say, oh no, it's just fandom. Collect the stuff that you love. It's not financial at all. This run it back conversation, this bottleneck conversation, that's what it is. That's the only reason we're having the conversation. It's because at the end of the day, this is a financial product. This is an investment strategy. And a lot of us are making investments without having the slightest bit of what the roadmap is. And nowhere else in the world do you invest in projects without at least demanding access to information so that you can make a smart decision. Because we don't know what's going to happen with Dirk, right? So how do you buy a Dirk? What if another Dirk run it back comes out next year? What does that do to the value of the product?
I know Tandy's going to probably I know we got to hop on to the next segment, but I'm going to tell you, more likely than not, they are going to oversaturate the moments. They've already done it. They're unapologetic about it. They know we're going to keep buying no matter what. So there will be more Dirk moments. But how about this? Those of you who already own a run it back moment, I can almost guarantee this. Priority queue. If you own one.
Priority queue. I'm here to say priority queue is shit.
No, but what if it's a guarantee though? I mean, even then, what if it were a guarantee to get into priority queue if you own a run it back moment? I feel like the barrier for entry on that, it's at least a grand, right? Isn't the cheapest moment $1,000? At that point, if you were guaranteed priority access, that's it. There's your run up. And then if you want to sell at that moment, go sell. But guess what? You're about to get a run it back pack, which EV wise, who knows? I mean, if you saw what happened with the WNBA, for me, that's kind of testing the waters for what's going to be the actual run it back.
What'd you get in the WNBA? I don't know. I don't follow these things.
What I get in the WNBA? I got Skylar Mays, I think.
Okay.
And then I got a few other commons, nothing crazy. But they're still in my collection. I haven't actually moved them or anything yet.
That's the biggest. That's the biggest arrow I think Top Shot has in their quiver that they haven't really capitalized on yet. Which is there's a lot of us who have invested a lot and have been uber collectors. We're on this thing every single day. We're buying, we're selling, we're discussing, we're debating, we're making people cry. Whatever it is, they haven't leveraged what I think most of these other NFT projects have done, which is using airdrops or some other tool to genuinely recognize and reward your true collectors. And that's what they've said all along. That's what I've heard, is that we want to recognize and reward our true collectors. I personally don't feel like I've been rewarded whatsoever. And I think I'm the epitome of a true collector. Everything I've gotten, I've bought, by myself. I think that is a huge opportunity for them to figure out ways to not put people into lotteries, which is what they've done so far. Because again, this can't just be a game of chance. When they start rewarding collectors, I think a lot of people are going to look at this platform a lot differently.
And I do think it's going to happen. So anyways, guys, thank you both. Thank you both for making the time. Thank you both for bringing back this run it back conversation. And I can tell just by looking at the chat, a lot of people really enjoyed what you guys were talking about. I mean, there's Steve over there in Aussie land. He's saying that 10x collector score for run it back might be a precedent.
I think staking for Rib, I think it's going to come to the point where Rib's utility could be staking, and then S1 utility could be staking. S3 utility, even though you're making less collector score, could be for challenges. And so every set is going to have its own kind of unique thing, which is why people getting all upset about NLL. It's okay, but you're going to get yours too, because they're going to make a game for everything. That's what keeps us spending money on the platform. So
exactly,
we'll see. We'll see.
All right. Well, Jay, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to give Dream a chance to plug himself. So
do it.
Jay, thank you for making it to the show. And until the next time, buddy.
All right.
All right. So Dream, thank you as well. But now I'm going to give you a chance because I know I'm in that Discord, the Boards to Buckets, and you've done a really nice job organizing it. So tell the people where they can find you, plug your Boards to Buckets. And you also wanted to talk about an underrated moment on the platform. So go ahead.
Yeah, so everyone, I host a Twitch channel called Boards to Buckets. We basically are going to be going over a bunch of different games throughout the year, but we'll be watching it in real time, live, all together. And the priority of the platform is to kind of just put basketball heads. So I know we have a lot of crypto people that come into NBA Top Shot and want to make the most money. I really want to figure out which one of you guys actually watch NBA basketball. Are you a Heat fan? Are you a Knicks fan? Are you a Lakers fan? Where are you? And let's watch a game together. Let's get a moment on NBA Top Shot so that we figure out when we watch a game, this is the game that we're watching. This is the moment that we want in the platform. And so even if these moments cost $1 in the future for S3, if we actually put one on there ourselves, that's what it's about at the end of the game, is putting our staple in the NBA by the platform. So I'm going to drop the Discord link in here right now. And one giveaway that we're doing right now in the actual Discord is for a Doug McDermott Top Shot debut. If we get enough people to go and hop into the Discord, maybe I'll run 2 of them, I think. And basically, Doug McDermott was offered a $41 million 3-year contract from the San Antonio Spurs. That's the biggest splash that they've made on a free agent, I think, in the past 4 or 5 years. And his Top Shot debut is worth $5 on the platform. So for me, if you're looking at NBA Top Shot as kind of an investment vehicle, as something that you want to put some money in right now and look at it 10 years down the road, I think you could do a lot worse than, Doug McDermott's NBA Top Shot debut. If he ends up becoming the player that they paid for $41 million, and you got Greg Popovich, the San Antonio Spurs, 6 titles, all behind his development, I think that you'll do a lot better than the $5 on the platform. Not financial advice. Do your own research, but we're running a giveaway for that. So if you hop in the channel and you just click on one little button on Discord giveaways, you'll be up in the running. So thanks, Tandy, for having me on, and keep crushing it, man. This was awesome.
All right, thanks, man. So you can stay in the green room because I know we're going to rip a pack. I'm going to take them off. We're going to rip a pack. Dream's got a pack also to rip. So there you go. Doug McDermott. Maybe that's worth your $5. I don't know. My personal choice for an undervalued moment at the moment is Terrence Mann. I think we talked about this last week. I think Terrence Mann is undervalued. Anyhow, our next segment, we are bringing on Rockdawggy and Jimbo. And after that, we're going to rip some packs and do a giveaway or two. So we have some NBA topics to talk about. We have superfan Jimbo. So let's bring Jimbo onto the stream first. Jimbo, how are you feeling right now with this Ben Simmons situation?
So I have my Ben Simmons jersey on. Mm-hmm. I truly think our best path to a championship is keeping Ben Simmons, convincing him to stay, play, buy into the system. And whether that is that'll probably get me run out of Philadelphia at this point. So good thing I'm in Michigan. But I really think that Ben is the path to the championship here without I don't like the trades that I've been seeing, and I don't think we'll get back what we should at this point.
Yeah. So now we're going to bring over Aaron Rockdawggy. What's going on, man? I think you're muted. There you are.
What's up? Thank you for having me on. Appreciate that, Tandy. Always good to be on. Love your stream.
Thank you, man.
How you doing, Jimbo?
Good. How about you?
I'm okay. You. I know these are tough times. These Ben Simmons, in limbo. It's tough times for you personally. So, I'm here for you, brother. Whatever you need.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron, I know they were thinking that Ben Simmons could go to the Cavs. How are you feeling about those rumors?
So the rumors are definitely out there, and they're still out there. From what I'm hearing, we have to give up more. They want more than what we're offering right now. And as far as a Cavs fan, I'm a little torn because we've kind of gone through this whole, if you will, a 76er style reset where we were clearly tanking, after LeBron left. We have players that we don't even play, like, Drummond and Love. And we've got our young core now. And so, like, the plan is moving forward. So now do we want to kind of blow that up for Simmons? It's a tough call because Simmons is clearly an elite NBA player. And he, I was actually looking at his numbers when you guys were talking to Dream, and I was just shocked because what I'm trying to figure out is, has Ben Simmons gone backwards as a player overall, or was it just a terrible playoff experience? And I was a little shocked at some of these numbers. Yeah, I like to look at the advanced metrics. So his value over replacement player, which is just a number like how good is he compared to the next guard that would replace him, an average NBA player. His rookie year was a 4.5. This year it was a 2.2. His offensive box plus minus rookie year was a 2. This year it was 0.8. His win shares as a rookie was a 9.2. This year was a 6. His defensive win shares was 5 as a rookie. This year it was 3.3. And his per was a 20 as a rookie. This year it was 18.3. The only stat that's up from his rookie season till now, you're not even going to believe it, is free throw percentage.
Wow.
I swear. Well, obviously not in the playoffs. So what I'm wondering is this a guy who's declining? Does he not take care of himself? Does he not treat basketball seriously? I actually don't think that's it. Or is this a guy who's just fed up in Philly and he just doesn't like Embiid? And I read this morning that Embiid, Tobias Harris, and I think it was Tybal were on their way to fly out to California to try to talk to Ben. And he got a hold of them before they left and said, listen, guys, there's no reason for you to come here. I'm not coming back to Philly, period. Just save yourselves a trip. And it's as a Cavs fan, it's tough because I don't know if we're getting a player on the decline or a player who's just fed up with his team and ready for a resurgence. I do actually think he'd fit well with the Cavs. We need defense. We could use a long, player like him. So it's tough. It's tough.
I just think it's crazy to think that Ben Simmons could be on the decline. I mean, how old is he? Like 17?
Yeah,
he's a really young player. What is he, like 25 or something?
I was going to say 25, right, Jimbo?
25th birthday this summer, yeah.
So for a 25-year-old to be on the decline just seems really strange. It doesn't really make. And when you were saying the only stat that went up, I thought it was going to be like appearances on the Kardashian show or something. But, yeah, I mean, he's young, Jimbo. He can't be on the decline, can he?
So when you talk about those stats, also when you think about them, his first year in the NBA playing, he had the reins at will there. Him and Embiid, obviously, where it was just them two, and we've really retooled our offense. Is sort of how I would look at those stats. Is we don't pay him to score baskets at this point. We pay Embiid, we pay Seth Curry, Tobias Harris. Those are our consistent scorers, and obviously Ben Simmons does a lot on the court defensively. I really value the defensive skill that he brings to the team. I think the eye test is sort of how I would look at it. I don't look at advanced stats as much, but I do think those could possibly be explained by retooling the offense to be an Embiid-focused offense. And
the thing about his advanced stats is even though they're down, they're still really good. Like these numbers are really good numbers. I actually compared his career with Jamal Murray, and he crushes Jamal Murray in almost every single advanced stat, and it's not really that close, besides 3-point percentage, free throw percentage. And you talk about the eye test, and I've watched a lot of playoff basketball, and all I know is when I watched the Philly playoff games last year, I saw a guy who was either disinterested or just plain overwhelmed. And I don't think a guy like Ben Simmons gets overwhelmed that quickly, almost like a light switch. I almost like reading his body language and just his activity on the court, passing up easy shots, running to the corner on offensive sets. In my mind, I was like, this guy just doesn't want to be there. He doesn't like his teammates. I don't want to say he quit because I people have said that about LeBron before, and I hate when people say that because you don't know exactly what's happening in someone's mind and body. But he looked like a different guy than I've seen over the last 4 years. It was a completely different tenacity, if you will.
Yeah. No, I'd agree with that statement. It really stemmed from his really lackluster free throw percentage in the beginning of these series that I think just kind of killed his confidence and took him down. Like when I saw him pass up the dunk over Trae Young, easiest dunk of his career, probably one of them, besides breakaways. It just shouted to me, he's got something wrong mentally where he's just cannot. I didn't see it as him checking out. I saw it as him has completely broke down as confidence-wise in his game. And I think with the commodification of like NBA athletes, we do forget they're human, at some points, where I think it really just, it crushed him seeing his free throw percentage down. He felt like he couldn't play his game. And so that's why I still want him to be on the team. I think he can figure it out. He's still only 25 is sort of like my thought about it. The fact that he told his teammates not to come, when I saw that, I was at first frustrated, and then I sort of thought about it a little bit. In his mind, he's done with the Sixers completely. And the statement was he didn't want his friends to come out and waste their time, basically.
Yeah, he didn't say it like, I don't want to see you guys. He said it like, you guys are my buddies and I don't want you to waste your time. It wasn't like, I don't want to talk. Like, clearly these are still his friends. I don't think there's, who knows? Who knows?
It's been tough as a Ben Simmons fan, and I don't know if maybe when he gets traded, I don't think I would ever. This was a very sentimental gift to me at this point. I never sort of saw the value of the burning jerseys sort of craze that sort of took over the NBA when LeBron did that. And there's been, I've seen people burn Sixers jerseys or Ben Simmons jerseys at this point. And like, it just is really tough as a person who has been rooting for him to be the guy. Like, so home drafted guys, I think in the NBA, just as a fan, means so much more to me. than a Damian Lillard who would come in. Yeah, like you were like ecstatic. Like I would be really happy to win a championship. Obviously, I'd go crazy, but there would be a piece of me that would want to see, oh, if we could have just made it work with our guys, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I hear you. And Andrew in the chat is saying, heard something about Simmons to the Knicks today. Is that a possibility? I mean, I feel like it's a possibility for any team at this point. I would doubt that with all of what the Knicks just did, kind of with their free agency and kind of shoring up what they said is their future plan. I would be surprised, but it's the NBA. And some crazy stuff happens.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I think it's clear where both people stand on this. I mean, I know Jimbo really wants Simmons to come back to the Sixers. Yeah. Will that happen? I'd say the chances are kind of low. It's kind of like hitting that run it backpack yesterday in the general queue. But
I have a question for Jimbo.
Yeah.
If he does go to the Cavs, because I hear new rumors every day, and I buy you a Simmons Cavs jersey, will you jump ship and come on the Cleveland Cavaliers train with me and root for the Cavs, especially when LeBron and Bronny come back in 2024?
Ooh, that's a good question, Jimbo.
Come back with his son.
Honestly, this kills me. It's a really tough question. Because
it is in the same state with Ohio State. Just remember, just keep that in mind.
I think if Simmons did leave, as a Sixers fan, I would have to. It'd be really tough. I would really want to root for him. Would I renounce
Steve isn't a fan.
Fandom?
Steve,
it'd be tough to be a Cavaliers fan because I don't think Ben Simmons on that team. It doesn't make as much sense to me as the Sixers' current roster. Like I think Ben Simmons' best. I think Ben Simmons' best spots to go would be the Wolves or to stay with the Sixers. I think are the two teams that make sense to me. Would I be a Cavs fan? Would I root for him? I don't think I could be a Cavs fan.
It's the city, though.
I think I would still want to see Ben succeed. Like I don't think I'll ever see myself hating Ben Simmons like the majority of Sixers fans do. I've just been rooting for him for his entire career, even when even when he was at LSU, I really loved his game. And it kills me to see a guy I've been so steadfastly, because Ben Simmons fans have had to defend him his whole career. So just because that comes with the number one pick status, it comes with the young prince name that he was given by LeBron. The expectations of the number one pick are so high, as well as being in Philly with a glaring flaw in his game. Like I've spent years, feeling for this guy, defending him, that it would be really hard for me not to root for him. Would I be a Cavs fan and jump ship from the Sixers? I think, maybe I'll do the Ben Simmons route and say, don't waste your time sending me out a jersey.
What about as like a secondary, like an alt team? Like let's say obviously the Sixers will bow out of the playoffs without Simmons early and the Cavs are still going. Are you going to root for the Cavs if we're up against Giannis when he's 33 years old?
Yeah, I'd root for Ben Simmons at this point.
Nice.
I'd root for Ben Simmons at this point.
Nice. Here's a better question for you, Jimbo. How are you going to feel if Ben Simmons leaves the team? They get, I don't know, call him sex god, and he comes to the Sixers and the Sixers just like crush it. Sixers get to like the Eastern Conference Finals and they're just crushing it. How does that make you feel after the fact about Ben Simmons at this point?
I think if we just killed it after, I think I would eat a lot of crow, and I think I would I'd have a lot of people. I'd have a tough time. All right. A tougher time than probably on Twitter recently. It's been tough with the mentions and the comments about Ben Simmons. Not tough in a bad way, but in a funny, ribbing sort of way.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is all fun and games.
If Sexton comes and does amazing, it'd be tough to come back from that. I want it to happen. Obviously, I want the Sixers to succeed, but that would be there would be a lot of people in real life that I know and on Twitter that I'd have to answer to.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Sexton is a very fun but also frustrating player to watch, especially on defense. You would see a lot different defense than you see with Simmons.
Oh, is he a bad defensive player?
Sexton is bad, yeah, on defense. Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
he's tenacious and he's very competitive, but he's just not good on D. He's just
I'm
not.
surprised that those two things work together. Usually tenacious and competitive.
You would think, right? You would think. It's surprising because he's very competitive and tenacious, but his defensive the numbers just the numbers don't lie. Andrew says Sexton is Andrew says Sexton is a cancer. I don't know that he's a cancer. Someone's got to score, and someone's got to put the ball in the hole. And the Cavs have been really bad since we got Sexton. He's a scorer. I think Sexton's peak is like a Lou Williams. The sixth man off the bench. He's a walking bucket, but he doesn't pass well. He's a guard, and he doesn't pass well, so that hurts. And he doesn't play defense well. So he's great sixth man.
Yeah.
You're not going to feel better about this trade here, Aaron.
Well, he could shoot free throws though.
Oh man. All right, so I'm gonna give a genie's wish to Jimbo, but I'm gonna let Aaron answer it as well, and then we're gonna rip some packs. But
by the way, Top Shot, I want to say I'm impressed with your audios and visuals, your little segment introductions. Very, very nice job. You're making me feel like I gotta step it up.
Hey, well, you ever need any tips? I'm here for you. So let's do a little genie's wish segment for Jimbo, but Aaron's also gonna be able to add his 2 cents. All right. Thank you to Topps Wooden Coins again for this sponsorship. All right, so here we go, Jimbo. Right behind you in front of that Michigan flag, Will Smith pops out from behind your small college twin bed. And he says, Jimbo, here's your deal. Ben Simmons is going to make peace with the Sixers. He's going to rejoin the team. It's going to be all love and sunshine. He's going to have this renewed energy. I'm ready to crush it for the Sixers. And he's going to play really well. Maybe they even make it to the finals, Jimbo. And the whole city is just in love with Ben Simmons again. And Steve in Australia is like, Ben Simmons is by far my favorite player. And in return, for some ungodly reason, Ben Simmons never scores another point in the fourth quarter of any playoff game for the rest of his career. So he's never – that's a weird question. But go ahead.
For us to go to the finals, never score a point, I take that.
Yeah, because you just got to assume you're up 20 every single game in the fourth quarter. That's why he's not scoring, right?
That means that he's doing his darndest to facilitate the ball, and he's making things – do free throws count?
No, he misses every free throw as well.
No points. I think
0 points. He bricks every, but he's mentally in just such a better spot now. Like he bricks every shot. He can't make a free throw to save his life, but mentally he went to the top of a mountain and he spoke to an old bearded man, and he just doesn't faze him anymore. Quarters 1 through 3, he's great. But everyone, that's a good addition. Everyone in the sports world and Twitter is just ragging on him constantly, and ragging on you as well. You're just taking it on the chin because of Ben Simmons. But he's like Ron Livingston's character in Office Space, and he's just smiling his way through the traffic, and it doesn't affect him anymore.
The thing is, if he's doing great the rest of those 3 quarters, and the city loves him, and we're going to the finals, and I can get people off my back, yeah, I take that in a heartbeat. And that means that he must be doing something great otherwise the rest of the game. So yeah. I take that, yeah.
All right. Maybe that was too easy. The genie's wish is kind of a difficult one. The people at Topps have not been helping me out in our strategic meetings. But anyhow, thank you guys so much. We're going to rip some packs. But before we do that, Jimbo, is there anything you want to plug? And then I know Aaron definitely is also. I know you both have things to plug. So Jimbo, I'll take it away.
Okay, I'll take my spotlight here. Also, I'd like to say this is a full-size college bed. It's to dissuade that notion. It's not a twin.
Okay.
There we go. I run a Twitch stream. It's jokingly called Jimbo Office Hours after Jacob Eisenberg's Office Hours. We kind of just mess around on there, have a good time, talk Sixers, talk Top Shot, do giveaways. It's a fun time. I've seen a lot of familiar faces in here. But yeah, I just sort of love it. And I enjoy it a lot. And I've met so many great people in here. And with my final thing here, I'd like to say thanks to Tandy for having me on here and always producing a good show.
Well, thank you, Jimbo. And yeah, it's a fun time. Anyone who hasn't been on Jimbo's stream, it's a fun time. Just like chilling out. Just like chilling out with an old friend. All right, now Rockdawggy, take it away.
All right, so yeah, I've been streaming every Sunday night at 9 o'clock Eastern. It's called I call the stream Off the Bench. It's on Twitch and YouTube. You can find the link in my Twitter bio. Tonight, so my stream it's sports focused, NFT focused, music focused, and human focused. I guess I like human interest stories. What I try to do, and the title Off the Bench, which was named by someone in the chat named EDM, one of my best viewers. I like to bring people in off the bench, people, from the outside world, from the NFT world, and just talk to them about what they've been up to. Last week I had Jacob on. The week before that, or 2 weeks before that, I had Osimo on. Tonight at 9, we're going to have Grant Flannery on from House of Kiba, and we're going to talk about their big drop this Wednesday. And then next week, I'm going to have a little ladies' night, old school like Steph. So we're going to have Steph and Jennifer Sudo, Tatiana Dumas, and Candy from Top Shot. So that'll be a fun one. So check it out, 9 o'clock every Sunday night. Tandy, I love your stream. I also got to say, Jimbo's got a great stream. And Dream Shake, if you just like basketball minus the NFT part of it, Dream Shake, the Boards to Bucket stream is amazing as well. So thank you so much for having me on. And I appreciate it. We'll do it again soon.
Awesome, man. And yeah, you're doing a great job. I got to give you your flowers too. You're doing a really good job getting like really interesting guests on your show. So whatever you're doing, it's working. And, let's all go to the moon together.
I just bribe
yeah, all right. Well, that works. All right. Well, thanks so much. I know you got something to get to anyway, so I'm going to let you go.
You ever want to come on? The invite's always open. Just let me know.
Yeah. If you do it when it's not like 3 a.m. my time, I'm there.
I hear you. All right, man. All right. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Man. Bye. All right. Well, that was fun. That was our session with Jimbo and with Rockdawggy Aaron. So yeah, man, Ben Simmons, that's an interesting one. This is like the drama show of the season. Tandy is washed. Thanks, Stan Loves. I take that as a big compliment. I know that's coming over from Team Hold. I appreciate you, man. All right. So we are going to rip a few packs. We're going to start. I do have Pack Trip in the back, and I'm going to bring him up in a second. First, though, we are going to rip a pack with Dream Shaker because I want to take it up in levels. So Dream Shaker has his stress pack. We're going to open that up. Let's just see. All right, Dream. So I'm going to bring you back on and we're going to rip your pack, okay? And before we do, a wash is equal to clean. Okay, I like that interpretation. Jay, which links do you need? Do you need links to everybody's streams? If you go to my Twitter, everyone is linked there. Just go follow them all anyways, and you'll get links to those streams if that's what you're talking about. I think that's because Jimbo's saying if you're not following. So yeah, Jimbo M2G, go search for it. All right, so Dream, let's get you ready. We are going to play a little clip to introduce the pack rip. So here we go. Where is it? It's here. Here we go. All right, let's do it, Dream. You want to share that screen? Right. We'll do it.
Yeah, just dropping my channel in here real quick. Let's go and do this share. So, got this. Boom. And all right, let's do it.
Okay, here we go. We're gonna rip.
Let's do it.
Pack everyone's here to see.
Yeah, I know you're starting with me at the bottom barrel this time. I'll forgive you because you have me at the top of the show, but it's okay. I get that I don't have a rare, WNBA pack here. But,
you already ripped it. The offer was open.
I know.
I just can't wait. So, all right.
Yeah.
That's your punishment.
Yeah. I know.
All right. So.
All right, let's get it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, chat. Top Shot Tammy stream. So if I do well this time, like the next time I will save like my exclusive like packs for here if I get one.
You remember when you ripped them a few streams ago? You did quite well. You got
That's
like
true.
a 15K, Zach LaVine. I forget what else you got.
True. Yeah, I did give a few away that time. Yeah, I got Alonzo Ball. I think 15K. All right.
There you go, guys. What does the chat want to see?
For these S2 stress packs, can you get anything good in them?
Oh, that's a good cereal. Wait, hold on. What circulation is that? Oh, that's a 12,000. That's a 12,000 circulation.
Yeah.
That's a nice rip already, buddy. I mean, what's that going for? That's gotta be.
I like the behind of that. It's Andre Drummond no longer there. I think Tyree Prince. It's a Top Shot debut also. Okay.
Josh Richardson.
Oh, Jay Rich. Okay.
He's a Boston Celtic now.
He is a Boston Celtic.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes on him this year. Could be pretty
good.
Last one.
Here we go.
Oh wait, did I hit it already? Guess I didn't. All right, let's go. All right.
Oh, we got a Celtics.
Oh, Peyton Pritchard. Oh, this moment. I know what this is. I watch this game live. I hate this moment. I said I would never get this moment.
It's against the Heat. So that's
yeah, I totally remember this moment. This is actually like we lost this game, and that's how we got matched up against the Bucks. And yeah, not a fan of this moment, but that was a great move by Peyton Pritchard. But yeah, like I've been talking about size issues the entire season last season. Before I was on NBA Top Shot, I was on Twitter tweeting out to like 2 people. And what I would say is Heat, size issues. Sure enough, Peyton Pritchard boxes out our entire team, gets the go-ahead buzzer beater, and it's an NBA Top Shot moment.
So what have we learned?
Well, we learned, I'm never going to rip a pack on your stream. I'm kidding. No, of course. No. I'll save it next time for it. Next time I got to save the real pack for you.
It's all good. I appreciate you, man. That you gave us the appetizer. I needed an appetizer, so thank you.
There you go. Well,
all right, I'm gonna let you go, but you can stay. You can do what you need to do. Thanks, buddy. All right. So next, we got a fun guest here, and I already seen the green room. His background is pretty awesome over here. So this is the man, the myth, the legend, the big baller brand fan, because I saw you on Top Shot Boys stream, which I was also on. His pack drip and his massive pyramid of sneakers.
Oh yeah, this is my pyramid of sneakers. In high school, I got a job at a local mom and pop sneaker shop, and they used to pay me like cash and stuff under the table after every shift. I was like 15, so I would leave, and instead of taking my $50-$60, I would just go, all right, let me get a pair of Vans. Let me get a pair of these. Let me get a pair of these. Or I'd save up 2 days pay or something, and I would just get paid in sneakers essentially. And it brought me to the point where I have like 200 pairs, so I might as well incorporate them in my basketball collage.
I think so. And for anyone who hasn't seen Pack Drip's content, sometimes he puts out videos. I saw there was one video that I really liked actually, where you went to Springfield and you like just kind of.
I live in Springfield, Massachusetts. That's why I wore my Dr. Seuss shirt. I live directly across the street from the Dr. Seuss Museum, and I'm an NLL member. And watching your stream earlier, I never got in. I've actually been adding Roham openly on Twitter for months about how, listen, I'm right across the street. If you need shots, like anything for the website, if you need anything, like I'm down to help, whatever. I've gotten completely ignored. And
you know what you got to do? You got to ask Jay. Jay knows how to like burrow the hole into the office and then get him to talk.
Jay and him are the only 2 people who know what Soho, what happens there.
Yeah, what happens there stays
Roham's like, this is going to be the Soho house. And then you have Jay like, it is? And everyone else is like, what does this mean?
Jay's like the only person on the platform who's like, oh my God, it's the Soho house. I'm going to do everything I need to do to get in. Oh man. What else, man? I feel like I need to bring you on another time to give you more time, because I feel like you got a lot of interesting stories. Yeah, I remember when you were talking to Top Shot Boy too about like what moments you want like this random ass, like, what was it, like a Lonzo Ball assist or something?
It's Lonzo Ball's 15K moment, because he plays against LaMelo. It's one of the first games of the season, and it's LaMelo's rookie year, and it's 2 brothers playing against each other. And everyone, said so much bad things about LeVar Ball. But when it all comes down to it, he got his boys to the league. They're playing against each other. They're making money. They're living their dream, And
we'll see if the third brother gets in there. What's his name?
I went to Summer League. I went by myself and represented myself as, my own little content brand. But it was a good time while I was out there, and I got to see Jello in person drop some buckets.
Jello.
Yeah,
that's right. What about the missing brother, like Leonardo? Where's he at?
It might be me. I might be the missing brother that they don't know about.
I know that can be the only reason why you love Big Baller Brown so much, I think. But well, very good, man. Let's get that rip. I'm going to show that rip video again, and then we're going to rip our WNBA packs. And I'm really excited because I know that you have quite a knowledge of WNBA. Is that right?
Yeah, I coached college basketball as an intern while in college. Yeah, because I'm going to school for sports journalism, and while I was in Iowa, I was the student assistant coach. And no, I wasn't the ball boy or the manager. We had managers and ball boys. I was in the film room, But it was
wow.
Really,
so you were
high respect for women's basketball. That's for sure.
So that was for the women's team in Iowa.
Yes.
Very cool. All right. Well, that's why I need you, because you got to tell me who's a great player and who isn't. I know like 4 players. I know I know the obvious ones. So I need someone who has a little more WNBA alpha that I don't have. But anyhow, like I said, I feel like I'll bring you on another time, give you like more time to go through various topics. But let's get the Cotton Candy Girl on again. You can bring on your screen and start sharing it, and by the time it's here, I'll be able to pop it up. I see it's not there yet.
It's not there yet.
Hold on. I'll find another video.
I think it might. Yeah, here we go.
All right.
Here
it is. All right, guys. This is a big
moment.
It's
anticlimactic, but here we go. This is my pack page. I've been saving up for a while. I have some stuff. I'm
honored then. I'm honored that you are ripping a pack with me, because it looks like you're a little bit of a pack hoarder over here.
Yeah, I'm a pack hoarder, I'd say. This was from my Cool Cats stuff when they gave packs to us, the Seeing Stars, Cool Cats, and 15. I saved Quest. I even have my LaMelo still in a pack.
Jeez, now I'm starting to feel bad.
I'm honestly, it's diamond hands. This is what I've held. This was the first rebound ever. That's what kind of taught me to hold, because I never thought I was supposed to get a pack anyway. But let's get to the pack opening.
Oh man, I feel like I've
been waiting for days, Tandy. You understand? I've been seeing everybody pull their packs. I'm retweeting, I'm sharing, I'm hyped for everybody. Now I get to be hyped for me.
All right, man. I'm hyped for you too. Let's go. I'm gonna get my videos ready if you pull something spectacular.
I'm a Connecticut Sun fan, and Tina Charles is the cheapest moment out of all the running backs.
You gotta cut the music. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
so you said which is the what now?
So growing up around here, I'm in Springfield, Massachusetts, home of basketball, and close to me is Mohegan Sun, which is a casino where the Connecticut Sun play, WNBA team.
I know.
And Tina Charles, I hope this is Tina Charles. Okay. She is the cheapest moment on the run it back.
But you want that one.
Set.
So you're a true collector then. You're not looking for the highly priced moment. You're looking for the moment that you just want.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking for the moment. I want to complete my Sun set so I could have utility the same way I have a complete set in the NBA. I have a complete set in the WNBA, and I hope if I win tickets or some sort of utility, it'll be easy for me to drive an hour to a Connecticut Sun game rather than me being a Sky fan or something like that, or Sparks.
Okay, well, you got the alpha brain going. All right, let's do it.
All right, how do you want to do this?
Does the chat have any ideas? I mean, usually we gotta save the good blue for last, of course.
Yeah, we got to save the blue for last.
Mm-hmm. Let's go bottom. Let's go bottom.
Let's go bottom. All right.
There you go.
All right, we got a 3. I got my Tina Charles. Let's go. This is what I'm talking about.
All right, look at that. You see,
it's not exactly uncharacteristic, but she's just known as someone who's more of a face-up player and then moves back to the basket and will pound you down low. I think her run-it-back moment is very indicative of the type of player she is and who she's known as around her with her peers. This one is the corner 3, so it's a little different.
It's a tall-looking player, like knocking down threes like that.
Yeah,
is she like a power forward.
Yeah, she's a power forward from UConn. So I mean, she went from UConn to the Connecticut Sun. She stayed local, which was real good for her fan base.
All right, I think let's see. John Robinson wants middle. Let's give him the middle.
Middle. All right. Layup. Stewie, this is a UConn pack. This is great. I love it.
All right. What do you want to tell us about Breonna Stewart?
I want to say that Stewie, so in high school, she came to Springfield because there's a high school classic that happens with all the best high schoolers. They come here for the basketball, and there's a big tournament at Springfield College. She scored about 30 or 40 in the first half and then sat. Wow. So she didn't even play in the second half of this tournament or of the game because she just beat them so bad in the first half, or she got benched.
Wow. See, this is what happens when you open packs on my stream. You get good luck. Dream didn't want to open his pack, and look what happens. He gets Peyton Pritchard beating his favorite team.
See that? You got to come in with an open mind, and great things will happen. You got to manifest it.
All right, let's
go to the last one, and then the great run it back. So who's here? All right, Neko Wumake. Funny story about. I could bring it back to Tina Charles. Tina Charles got robbed of an MVP the year Neko won it because Tina Charles led the Liberty in points and rebounds. I think it was maybe 2016, and I didn't think Neko deserved it. Her teammates Candace Parker, and she had good help in the West. It had like a dynamic duo to where Tina Charles was carrying a team by herself, was first in the East. I don't know. I thought she got disrespected, but that's besides the point. Let's go to
here we go. This is the big one. This is for all the marbles.
This is it right here.
What logo are we hoping to see? You're hoping to see your Connecticut Sun.
I want to see my Connecticut Sun, but I mean, Elisa Leslie, no one's going to fight. And Tamika Catchings. She grew up Kobe's best friend in Italy. Their parents played professional ball, and they both wore number 24. Yeah, so I'm rooting for either Tamika Catchings, Elisa Leslie, or Tina Charles. Those are the ones.
So we got to go crazy if we see that LA logo, right?
Yeah, if we see the LA, I mean, it could be Candace Parker. But
all right, let's go.
Let's go. Minnesota Lynx. This is a Maya Moore. Oh, it's a Lindsay Whalen. All right, Lindsay Whalen's cool. She's a solid point guard. I've seen her play in person against the Sun. I've went to 2 Sun games when they played the Lynx. I like to see Maya Moore because she went to UConn, and that's kind of like my UConn thing. But Lindsay Whalen, solid. She's the head coach of Minnesota, which is a college, and she was playing her last season while still being a head coach at Minnesota.
She was a player coach?
She was playing in the WNBA while coaching NCAA as the head coach.
Interesting.
And this was 82. That's pretty solid. That's a low serial. Yeah, this pack's pretty good. I like it. Honestly, I might shuffle the Lindsay Whalen so I could get my Tina Charles. I want to do the full set of the Sun. And while we're in the beginning of it, the same way these whales got into S1 early, this is S1 WNBA. And I could make some moves while people don't care about them as much.
That's true. And are they similar value, you think? So you're going to be able to just flip those?
Oh, no, the Lindsay Whalen's worth more. The Tina Charles is the least valued moment out of the run it back set. So I'm fine with it.
You're a happy man.
A couple extra bucks to play with. I might get Tina Charles and get the pack for free. Who knows?
You're right. Yeah, this is a nice EV pack. I mean, like I said in the opening, this is 60. We had 66% chance to get this pack in the priority queue, which is crazy to me.
Definitely.
That was amazing. All right, man. Well, look, this is why I need you on the show to rip WNBA packs, because you got all this knowledge about this stuff. So
I got you.
All right, let's do it, man. I'm going to bring on mine, but I got to give myself a cotton candy girl as well. Let's go. All right, let's do it. And I've got my very special cup that my wife gave me for my birthday, which has got my cool cat on it. So we're going to drink. This is the first sip. This is for the WNBA pack. Here we go.
Cheers.
Cheers. The water tastes good. I think you're drinking something more interesting. But here we go. Let's add this to the stream. And we are going to rip this pack, everybody. I'm excited. I mean, I know this is going to be like a nice EV pack. I feel very fortunate to be able to rip this pack. So whatever I get, I'm happy. And you're going to be able to educate me on like all but 4 players. So here we go.
Jay would check you on that statement. You talking about you appreciate it. You paid for it. They didn't give you anything.
I know. It's just, it's not every day that you get a rare pack. I guess that's my point.
I hear you.
All right, here we go. So here's my blue. My blue's in the top right, so I'm not going there. So I'm going to go, let's start from the bottom as well.
Yeah, same way. Let's keep the luck.
Yeah. Okay, we got a layup. Courtney Vandersloot.
All right, Vandersloot, you know, she's got the dimes. I'll tell you that. They picked, you know, a layup for her, but she's somebody who is looking to make the pass first at all times.
I like it. It's the rondo play. It's the fake. It's the fake and the go back around the other way. So I kind of like that. That's
nice. Nice up and under of some sort.
All right. So last time we went top right, we can't. No, last time we went middle. So we're going middle again. Here we go. There you go, Tina Charles.
Tina Charles, let's go. I love to see it.
All right, we got another corner three. All right, it's nice.
Nice.
All right, here we go. Let's go top left. The same. Oh, it's the same pack.
We followed the formula, and it gave us some good cards.
All right, so I guess that means I'm getting what was her name again?
Tina Charles, Nneka Nwumaike, the rivalry, the MVP thing.
You're right. So
I seen Vandersloot play in person once too. I met Deladon in the hallway. It was a Sky game back when she played for the Chicago Sky, and yeah, she was just walking in the hallway, and you see a 6'5" woman walking through. It's kind of obvious. So we just stopped her. Hey, what's up? But yeah, so maybe you'll pull a Deladon in this one. It's
here we go. Here we go. Comets.
Comets. Is it Swoops?
Cheryl Swoops.
Oh, nice.
That's a nice grab right there.
Oh, yes. So Cheryl Swoops is the number 2 valued card, I believe, or 3 behind Maya Moore.
Beautiful. I'll take it. I mean, I know she's like she's a legendary player. So I will take it.
I was at her Hall of Fame induction. She got inducted with Shaquille O'Neal, Yao Ming, and Allen Iverson.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Well, I'm pretty happy with that.
If you watch it, can you click it real quick?
Oh yeah, let me bring that back. My bad.
Back to the.
Hold on one sec. Can bring it back. Okay. Where's it at? Here we go. Oh wait, I'm not sharing it yet, am I? Here we go.
Here we go. Yeah. So if you watch it, she actually dimes up Cynthia Cooper at the end of this, and Coop gets the layup. It was a little pixelated on mine, but it happens. You guys will see it.
Gonna happen again. Yeah.
Cynthia Cooper, and Cynthia Cooper's run it back moment is also in this pack. So she has like she's got a faux moment and a real moment.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Very good. I'm happy. That was nice. Cool. So I think why don't we do a giveaway? I don't even know what I'm giving away, but I'll give something away. I'll go for my. I'll just go look for something random, and I'll give somebody a 40K moment. So if you want to be in the running for a 40K NBA Top Shot Series 2 moment, which means as soon as Series 3 comes out, that thing is worth something higher. And throw your ones in the chat, please, and I will set this up.
Like the stream.
Yeah, and make sure you're liking the stream. If you're in the stream and not liking it, I don't know what to say to you.
Not going to make it.
Not going to make it. So let's see. All right, now they're coming in. Tandy NFT says you have more packs than sneakers in his room.
I'm a hoarder.
Oh man, he just wants to see your pack holdings again. Do you want to show them your pack holdings again while they show their stuff? Yeah. I mean, while they go back to your pack holdings and let everyone salivate. Yeah, I got you back here again.
All right, cool. All right, so we'll look at my pack holdings. I'm down 1 now because of Tandy.
Yeah, no, I feel bad. It's like Chewy who couldn't make it because he went to 49ers game, but he was like, oh, I'll rip one of these, and it was like the 1 player reward moments.
Yeah,
I'm like, you can't rip that on my stream. Like what? Like you're holding that. Like you hold it this long. I don't want you to rip it just to see the cereal. Come on now, don't be silly. So and then he ended up getting the rare pack anyway.
I don't know what he wants to see, but I could give a little talk about this. This is the first rebound ever. There was an MGLE coming out, and Top Shot was like, hey, we'll give everybody a pack, because it got to the point where nobody was getting packs. That's kind of how it felt. And like I have a group message of about 10 friends that I know from growing up, and I put them on the Top Shot, and they weren't getting packs. Like it was 10 of us entering the queue, and all 10 are striking out. So it was getting really bad. And Top Shot came out with this rebound pack, 28. I didn't get the MGLE, so I saved it because I felt like I wasn't even getting packs anyway. So who knows? And then the next rebound came out, another rare MGLE drop, and I picked up 29. I think 31 was a stress test. And then Hustle and Show 1 and 2, I saved. I didn't know how long or what it was going to be about. They were talking about new master challenges and bringing that back. And I thought Hustle and Show was going to be one, but it ended up not. 36 might have been a pre-order pack. I think
which pack is your favorite?
For pack art or what exactly?
You can just answer it however you want to answer it. Which is your favorite pack that you're holding right now?
My favorite pack that I'm holding? I think it's gotta be this one. It's gotta be the LaMelo pack. Just because
that's true. You bought that off you had to buy that in the market, huh?
I can't. Yeah, I had to buy my own LaMelo. I had to buy a LaMelo to join Cool Cats.
What was your thinking on that?
The last day, people boo-hoo and all this other stuff. The Cool Cats challenge was less than $2,000 to complete on the last day.
But on the last day, I mean, if you did it in February, it was like, if you went the whole way, it was like $10,000 or something.
Yeah, I mean, the Luka alone was $10K. That's one of my close friends who put me on the Top Shot. He was the only one who knew about it because he's really into crypto. And that's, I guess he got put on. And it took me about a month to really get going on this website, to be honest. I wish I would have been active earlier. I could have bought packs. They were just on the website chilling. But I was like, this is kind of weird. I couldn't wrap my head around it. And then he's like, yeah, well, I just got a 10K Luka. And I'm like, all right, well, maybe I got to think about this a little bit more.
Yeah.
I did the challenge, and I never opened the LaMelo. And they were just, LaMelos were selling for $500 on the release date. And I don't know, something about it. I just kept holding. And then they said, I'm still a 29 out of 30 completer, even though on the blockchain, they know I completed my set, or I did the challenge at least. So I had to pony up some dough, and I ended up buying the LaMelo for about $1,100. So for the Cool Cat set, it probably cost me $3,000 in total. And I think it's probably double or somewhere a little.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great investment thus far. And you didn't even have to sell any of your shoes.
Right, I didn't have to sell my I almost did for the Rising Stars Challenge. The Rising Stars Challenge is a whole different story. And that was my last hurrah was Cool Cats. Once they said it's a special club, I said, all right, I already blew the bag and lost some stuff on chasing challenges. This is my last shot. If they don't prove to me anything, then I mean, I'll have to give up on it. I'm definitely not going to give up on my fandom. I've been a fan of the NBA before I heard about Top Shot, so I could go back to being the fan I was. But I think they've definitely built this up better. Though the NLL thing is pretty upsetting to me, especially someone who has grown up across the street from the Dr. Seuss Museum, and I live 2 streets over from Mulberry Street, which is a street like he grew up on and everything. I was excited for this. You grow up every single year of a field trip, you go to the Dr. Seuss Museum because of public school. They just drag you there. And it kind of sounded cool to me. Dr. Seuss is, I don't know. I guess
so you're upset because you never got
to mock it. But I've always liked Dr. Seuss. He's always had a special, place in my heart, the same way basketball has, knowing that the Hall of Fame is 2 minutes away from me.
So you said you're upset because you don't have access yet.
Yeah, I don't have access. I've done 9 Lives Lounge. I wrote Roham about being in it if I could help. Pack Rip Media was like, yo, we'll cover the first 3 days of Summer League, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, hell yeah. I'm there for days 4 to 10. Can I cover it? And they go, block.
Blocked. We're just going to delete you from the platform, actually. Well, who knows, man? You might get it really soon. I think a lot of people are getting it.
I hope so. I think tomorrow, as a little troll, I might make a video of me walking from, do a FaceTime or something, of me walking from my front door to the Dr. Seuss Museum. And I don't know. Maybe add some flair to it.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, Kobe and run it back would be amazing. Of course it would. All right, well, we got our ducks in a row here, so let's race these ducks. Let's see if it was like the last time where whoever was like in last place basically won. I'm just going to see if that happens again. Here we go. This is for an what'd you say?
No Trump ducks this time.
Yeah, you're right. No Trump ducks. Sorry. Caleb's not in the chat. That's why. He loves his Trump.
That's why.
Here, just for fun, let's do this. We're going to shuffle the characters a couple times. Ooh la la. Now you're going to be last then first, and now you don't know where you're going to be. All right, let's run it. All right, let's take a close look who's last. Dream Shaker. All right. Tandy NFTs in his backwards hat.
You're in.
Dream Shaker with his little do-rag is coming up. Oh, but I think he's blowing his shot by going up.
Red and white checkered do-rag. Looks rare.
That does look rare. That looks rare. I don't want to meet him in a dark alley, that's for sure. DJ, what do you think? Is the do-rag going to pull it off? I don't think so.
He's not. Honestly, it's probably going to be the B. He's in last place. Catatonic. I told you.
There he's coming. He's coming.
You kind of
give away this. It's the two at the top. It's neck and neck. It's neck and neck. Is somebody going to come from the back? Is it really just going to be the top two? I'm shocked right now. Who's going to steal this?
The B.
Here it comes.
The green. The lime green.
Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, my goodness. The rare glowing zombie skin takes it in the end. Holy moly. What a race.
I was.
Good. Congrats, El Pog. Congrats, man. That was a race well swum. That was a really nice job. You got to DM me on Twitter, blah, blah, LJKA Spog. DM me on Twitter. I will send you a random 40K. That's what we all hope for.
A random 40K.
I know. Look, it takes a lot of work to prep for these things, okay?
It does. You gotta rip a couple packs to decide which one is the scrap to send them, you know? So you gotta give you a couple stress tests or something, and then they'll get that.
You're right. That's also something that I sometimes do. Or I don't know if I've done that, but I know Dream did that too once. So I know that people appreciate that. All right. Well, I guess that's about it. Unless we have any questions for the chat. If anybody has questions for my guests here, Pack Drip, we'll play our little questions for the chat video. You guys can think up some questions, and then I'll let you get back to what you're doing.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
All right. So any questions for myself or for Pack Drip? Or you guys can go and tune into some football if that's what people are doing today.
I gotta go check out your chat so I don't miss anything.
Or you guys can go and tune into some football if that's what people are doing today.
I gotta go check out your chat so I don't miss anything.
That was I was confused there for a minute. All right, we got a question here. Prediction is what he's trying to say. Prediction on the locker room pack drop. My prediction on the locker room pack drop in terms of when it's going to happen, I think it's probably going to happen this week if I had to guess. I mean, other than that, there's not much to predict. All the moments are in that account. You can go check them out. It's amazing what kind of moments are in there, though. Like I'm blown. Like what was your impression on that actually, Pack Drip, when you saw people sending like MGLE and Hollow and now like all these LeBrons and Durants and what did you think about all that?
It definitely was for the clout. And I mean, the guy already admitted it, that he was like, hey, I got a clothing line thing. Like people are bringing me on their shows as guests. So I just kind of, I did something to create a buzz. It makes sense. So eventually they're going to have to do some sort of legendary locker pack where people burn legendaries. Maybe it's 3 legendaries to get a pack of 2 legendaries or something to maybe whittle it down.
That's crazy. All right, this one's for you, Pack Drip. Who's your top 3 to win WNBA greatest of all time?
Top 3. All right. Well, I mean, I feel like the list is going to be different for everybody. You're going to have like people who are Regina Miller, Reggie Miller's sister. Like the old school gang is going to be Lisa Leslie and her. And then you have people who came into the league like Lauren Jackson from Australia. I mean, she's like a three-time, I think, MVP. Incredible. And we know Sue Bird because who she was diming to. You know, she was the Stockton to the Malone, essentially. And then you got Candace Parker. I really like Candace Parker. It's tough. I mean, and people like Diana Taurasi.
By the way,
like if I'm taking a WNBA player, I'm taking one over 6 feet. I mean, Diana Taurasi is more of like a guard, and she's incredible. And obviously, like I think she's the all-time scoring champion.
She is.
It's kind of hard to deny her in a sense, but at the same time, are people out here vouching for Kareem?
They're not.
They're not. So it's not always that. You know, there's different eras and everything. You could argue Cynthia Cooper, the one where I was trying to show you, there's Cheryl Swoops diming her. Right. If you look into Cynthia Cooper, she came in the league at 35 and was averaging about 25 and then retired at 40. So because of the WNBA being invented in 1997, there was women's basketball prior to that. So you have this woman's whole career from when she got out of college at 18 or not out of college, 18,
22 or something.
22, 21, 22, and came into the league at 35. There was 13 years there. I mean, she came in the league scoring 25. She must have been doing something in those years. And she was over there not getting recognized, I guess, in the American way.
Right. Yeah, there's a great podcast on that.
It's tough. It really is tough.
There's a great podcast on that by ESPN, 30 for 30, about the best players in the world. The women players go to Russia and play for like a mob boss. It's an amazing podcast if you haven't heard it before. So this guy's got an interesting question. I don't know if you have any insight on here, but when Series 3 comes out, will Series 2, I think, go up? I think the clear answer on that one, Thomas, is yes, because if a Series 3 moment is worth $2, and let's say it's $1, then a Series 2 moment compared to a Series 3 moment is going to have a collector score of 12 at the base. So you'd have to think it might be worth $6 because people are trying to bump up that collector score. And it's, you know, here's a question for you about the WNBA. Who's going to win it all?
Ooh, that's tough. That is tough. You know, I was rooting for the Mystics in the beginning of the year because Jonquel Jones took last season off because of COVID, and I didn't think Jonquel Jones would come back and play for the Suns. So she's back with Brianna Jones, and they're looking pretty good, and I'm always going to root for the Sun. But, yeah, the Mystics, Deladon got hurt this season and played like 3 games, and she was out all of last season as well. So she's played 2 games in 3 seasons. Yeah, those were my 2 locks. I'm a stick by it. I was wrong on one. They completely missed the playoffs because of injuries. And then I'm rocking with my Sun. So Sun.
All right. I'm gonna root for the Sun too. All right, here we go. Would you rather own a Top Shot debut or rare? So you know you got the Halliburton Top Shot debut or Halliburton Rising Stars. There's other examples of this too, of course.
I've been in that predicament and I picked Rising Stars.
I personally think it's really hard to predict this stuff. And I think if you can buy a Top Shot debut of one guy, buy a Rising Star or of another guy. Like that's kind of the way I feel. But I guess this is like if you had to choose one.
Yeah.
But in terms of Rising Stars, though, I just think that set, I don't own any, but I think that set in it is going to feel like a historic set. Because like if someone is an amazing rookie and they become an amazing player, like a Rising Star, like that's clearly, it's a story in the history of that player. It's going to be important.
Right. And the Rising Star set it's only 2,000, so a triple badge is 4,000. You're getting half the circulation. It's a rare moment over a common, so collector score is way more. I mean, if you really want to like needle it like this, the base set is like 400 cards. The Rising Star set is like 20. So to even complete the set and to get CS bonus multipliers, it's better to go with the Rising Stars. And also, he has some pretty cool pink shoes in the thumbnail, and they match the card because it's Rising Stars is pink. So I personally bought the Halliburton Rising Stars over the debut.
All right, well there you go. He actually was in that predicament, so that's interesting.
Yeah, you can check my moment ranks or whatever. That really happened.
Yeah. And then, do you have a favorite Series 2 set? Is that Rising Stars, or do you have a different set that you really like?
I have some set stuff.
I mean, you own the Cool Cats set.
True, Cool Cats. Yeah, those are I have Hustle and Show, The Gift, Cool Cats. those are my 3S S2.
Oh wait, let's show your sets. Hold on, we'll show them. Go ahead.
You can see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so I have the fandom set because I went to Vegas and then Top Shot ended up leaving after 3 days, so I didn't get any fandom moments in person. And then I completed the S1 early adopter set, even though I wasn't around for it. I did the gift, and then I was like, wait, the early adopter set's pretty cheap.
When did you do the early adopter set? Recently?
I did that during the dip, like big bottom.
Wow, good timing, man.
Yeah, I definitely went. I gave one last hurrah. Like I said, the Rising Stars challenge for Anthony Edwards was a hard one, and it was hard to swallow what I did. You know?
Oh, because you completed it?
Yeah, because I completed it, and from there it got ugly.
I remember I bought a few of those trying to flip, and I was like, I'm feeling so good about myself. I bought like 3 of them, like a Theo Maladon, a couple other ones, and they like doubled in price like one day, and then all of a sudden I see it. You couldn't get rid of it. It's like you try to sell it, doesn't sell. There's just too many people trying to sell at the same time.
Shot definitely screwed us on that because the challenge was about 28 days long back then. I don't know if you remember this. The challenge timer was legit 28 days.
I don't remember that.
They banned gifting prior to the challenge. And 7 days into the challenge, they lifted gifting. Then like 3 days later, they banned gifting. And then they brought it back. And gifting came and went 3 different times during the Rising Stars. And I was following the completion. You know, there was at one point you couldn't even trace it yourself. There was this one guy who tweeted it out every day. I forget who his name is. It was so long ago. And you know, it was like 200 completions, 250. It was so slow. They banned gifting right about to the end, about 5 days left. And then they brought gifting back again for the final time. And it went from about 500 completions to where it is now at over 1,000. So there was definitely some finagling. And for a while, I was a big conspiracy theorist. And I thought Top Shot actually operated accounts and was shifting markets. Because it didn't make sense. The way everything was moving. I wasn't bought in at one point because it looked like the casino just took all my money.
Yeah, man.
And then Top Shots, like I said, it was my one last card throw, and it landed in the hat. And I don't know, it might bring me back from the mistakes I made with the Rising Stars set.
Oh, so you're another collector who loves Top Shot and is still in the red, even with the cool cats.
No, I'm not in the red. I know.
Oh, you're not in the red. Okay.
I know who to buy, and I'm telling you, I was once the opposite of what I am now, and somehow it came out on top. I came out on top, I should say.
All right, well, that's awesome for you, man.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's just take a couple more here because it's getting kind of late for me. What
you're
not
Brazil,
financial? Right? No, I'm in Portugal, so it's like 1 a.m. almost, but 1:15 a.m. So for investment, you like Catchings or Cooper? And then not financial advice, of course.
Tamika Catchings, because as I told you, Cooper's story isn't told, and I don't think anyone will really tell you about it. That a 35-year-old woman came in, busted her butt for a couple of years, and then left. You know, but Tamika Catchings, she comes with that Kobe story of they were 8 years old, best friends, shooting in the gym because their dads are working out because they're overseas and this is their practice time, and they're just trying to be like their dad, you know? And that's what's so beautiful and kind of weird about the whole Kobe thing is he was taking his daughter to a basketball game. He wasn't being a bad guy. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't going to a club. He wasn't neglecting his kids. He was sharing the legacy the same way his parents did. And he shared a moment with Tamika in Italy and it's just wholesome, you know? So I think Tamika's always going to have that. I think she was the first person to get a quintuple double or something.
Oh, wow.
And it was like a high school or college stat, but it's like she's the only person still in like United States history to ever have a quintuple double.
Didn't know that one.
10 steals, 10 blocks, 10 assists, 10 rebounds, 10 points.
That's a domination. So this is we'll take this as the last one here. Do you think LaMelo's Rising Stars will drop a lot after the Showcase Challenge packs are released? What packs are being released that are going to affect the Rising Stars?
Rising Stars packs.
There are Rising Stars. Oh, right. But there's not that many being released, right?
300 packs are being given, and they're saying that there's 180 LaMelos left. And people are putting 2 and 2 together, but not smartly. And they're saying, 300 packs, and there's 180 LaMelos in them. That's not the case. There's people like me who hold packs. So those 300 rising stars don't mean there's 180 LaMelos out of that. I don't know. This is a tough question. There's a lot of these that I have that are, it's a tricky market question because you have this with LeBron's Top Shot debut with the S1 locker packs. These people spending $10,000 on a Top Shot debut LeBron. Is it 10K when it's fully circulated? There's only 400 out of 1,000 really out there. Harry Giles has a weird situation like this to like 900 out of his 1,000 aren't circulated. You know, and then I seen you talking to Metz and Dream about this on the bottlenecks for run it backs. You know, I think a good litmus test, and no one's looking at it like this, but this is me because I'm a Bucks fan and I got a little extra eye for it. George Hill is on the S1 Bucks team. He leaves S2. He just signed with the Bucks. So once we get a George Hill S3, and we're going to see what his S3 team breaker does to his S1.
Well, we already know what that's going to do.
Well, I mean, it's the same threat that like Carmelo or I don't know, somebody, you know, Kevin Durant. If there's another Thunder moment, that's the team set bottle breaker or bottleneck breaker.
But I think we'd be fools to like remember when Jacob basically said it 1,000 times in office hours. So like, and Dream was talking about it too. Like, don't think these players aren't going to have more moments. I mean, I'd be shocked though to see like another Steve Nash Lakers moment. I'd be like, what are they doing? But at the same time, if that's like what they're saying, then you sort of have to listen to them because they might decide, yeah, we are going to release another Steve Nash Lakers moment because we've told you we're going to, and we want to take away that bottleneck. I mean, that's a scary thought for someone holding those run it backs, but I don't know, man. Beta.
Yeah, right. But that's the one thing is like you see what your clients are spending on this. Why would you tarnish what they're doing?
I mean, I honestly, because they can still say like we're still trying to work it all out. Like we're still trying to work out the circulation. We're still trying to work everything out. Don't invest anything you can't lose. You know, they can cover themselves like that, I think. So anyways, man, well, it was good talking to you. This is actually the longest stream I've ever done. But I really appreciate you having on, especially for your WNBA knowledge, which I have next to nothing about. So having you on here, getting hyped for the WNBA packs is pretty awesome. If there's ever another rare WNBA pack that I have to rip, I'll definitely have you on again.
All right, cool. Yeah, let me know whenever I could help. And also another thing about Tamika Catchings is she's deaf. Yeah. I was born. Well, I was like a baby and I had a lot of ear infections, so I have bad hearing in my right ear. And I always knew that about Tamika Catchings is if she's deaf. If you ever listen to her in an interview, you know, she's a little like speech impaired,
right?
In a sense, because you know she can't really hear herself. It's like talking with headphones on, so you can never gauge your level of, or you know, your pitch and all that.
That's crazy though. To play basketball and not be able to hear anything?
That's what I thought too, and that's why I think Tamika's so great. Is how do you have that type of court awareness but you can't hear it? You know, but she can see everything and has that feel. And she was such a playmaker. So, I mean, that's another cool part. I'm taking Catchings all the way over.
All right. Well, it's confirmed. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much. Thank you to all my guests. Actually, before we go, Pack Drip, do you have anything that you want to plug?
Well, follow me on Twitter or YouTube, Pack Drip, the way it's written. I'd appreciate it. And the NBA season's coming. So I'm going to turn the content machine back on, and I want to have Tandy on my show one day.
Hell yeah, I'm there. Guaranteed.
Awesome.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for being here. And until the next time, and thank you, everybody, for being here. We're out.
See ya.
Static Selector.